All right. So the goal with today's session is to in the last few months, we've started this thing around introducing TikTok offers for a lot of our clients. And to be honest, it's been life-changing, not just for me, but for some of my clients too, right? And my goal, I've never really been one to sell information. So every time that I do these live sessions, the goal with them is to literally give away everything that we are currently leveraging to actually scale our customers, right? We're not necessarily here to sell courses. We're here to actually sell infrastructures and implementation, so that for anyone who literally desires success, or at least financial success, can be able to leverage the stuff that we're going to be sharing to actually take action and to be able to get ahead in life, right? And I do this because I would have personally loved to have someone because when you're starting out, you don't necessarily have all the budget in the world, and you have other things that you have to pay for. So maybe getting actual specific knowledge can be the thing that helps you move forward without having any obstacle. The only thing that I would ask you guys to do is just put your screen on if you're on this Zoom. There's no reason to not be showing your face. It's like how you expect to make $1 million with no camera. That would be a little tricky, right? And I want to also know who you are, right? If I don't know who you are, if I have never seen your face, then it's hard for me to come on now. So it's my birthday, so might get a little bit of 1 second. Sorry, it's my aunt calling me. 1 second. Go fine. All right, shall we get started? Only thing before we get started, only thing I'd like to ask you guys to do is be respectful. Wish me happy birthday in the comments, okay? Because I should be somewhere out there drinking like tequila or something like that, right? What I'd like you guys to do, I'm not necessarily going to force you guys to do it, but if you can please make a story on Instagram, Facebook, or whichever platform you're on, maybe even a post, and take a picture of this and then tag my name, so Serge Gatari and clownacquisition.io, and just write besides it 50K a month TikTok agency, right? That's all you guys have to do, because today's session is about to be amazing. It's not actually going to be just me presenting today. It's going to have Chris, who's a customer who's scaled his agency, who's going to be presenting. I have Koopa, who's going to be presenting. I have also Ashley, who are both partners and who help with fulfillment for our clients. Okay, so I'm not necessarily an expert in all areas, so I'm going to let those who are in the game solving specific issues do the sharing of knowledge. Okay, so yeah, but before we get started, I just need them stories. I need them tags on Instagram, guys. I need you guys to run it up. Okay, cool. I think we can get started. Did I forget anything? I don't think I did. All right, nice to see everyone here. I see a lot of beautiful faces. I see a lot of names, so I don't know if you guys are beautiful or not. We'll never know. All right, cool. So in today's session, I want to go over everything you guys would need to know to make it unreasonable for you not to have a 50K a month TikTok agency in 4 months or less. The reason why I'm saying 4 months or less is not because I just want to make a big claim and just put out 4 months. No, it's literally, we've had multiple clients literally scale to 50K a month or more in 4 months or less. Okay, so this is from pure facts, okay? So for those who don't know me, my name is Serge Gatari. I run clownacquisition.io. It's a consultancy / agency where we build people's offers, we build client acquisition systems, we hire and train growth teams for you, and we help you take care of fulfillment, at least when it comes to this TikTok angle of our service, okay? So why should you listen to anything I say? So I quit my job in 2020, July. Beginning of July, so it's been 2 years. But a year later, I started clownacquisition.io, scaled it to over 2 mil in annual recurring revenue in 10 months. I think we had our biggest month in May, which was $187,000 collected in less than 30 days. We'll consult and we've built client acquisition infrastructures for over 400 agencies, as well as high ticket info businesses, of course. We manage over 100 outbound campaigns for agencies, high ticket info business, and know what works and what doesn't. Okay. The difference between people who sell courses and like our business is that like we're in the trenches every single day with with our customers, right? We have, I mean, I could show you guys, but I could show you guys what we do, but it would take a whole day to do it. So I'm not going to get into it. So yeah, we're in the trenches. We do outreach ourselves. We book around 300 meetings every single month from, just through outbound. Okay. Reg, who's our operation, manager, who takes care of some of the appointment setting process, as who also takes care of our accounting. Recently did the P&L of our first year in business. So we crossed $1 million, and I was looking at this profit and loss statement, and I realized that we've only had $6,000, $7,000 in refunds, which was from like 2 clients, and then over $1 million collected in the last year, the last 12 months, right? And the reason why I point this out is because in order to achieve a refund rate this low, guys, like, I mean, I would love to have someone show me a refund rate this low who's on this call. We have 100 people on this call. So if you can, I'd praise you, and I'd probably sign up for your services right now, right? But you need an amazing service, and we have built that amazing service and experience for our customers, okay? Pretty profitable too. So hopefully you guys can pay attention to what I'm going to say. So why is starting a TikTok offer the best vehicle to jump in right now? Okay, so a lot of you guys, when I say TikTok agency, I'm not necessarily saying that the only way to make money with TikTok is to be running an agency. That's not actually the case. What you guys will see in this presentation is that I'm actually going to be breaking down a few offers that are also in the consulting space. So you don't necessarily need an agency, you don't need creators, you don't need this and that to actually make money with this offer, right? So, but the number one reason why I personally think the reason why most of our customers are succeeding is probably, of course, it's a little bit because of the help we help them with client acquisition infrastructures. But the number one reason why it's so easy to win with this offer is because it's trendy, right? A few months ago, I was listening to Hormoz's YouTube video where he shared a story about about a friend's realization of how important trends are, right? So the story goes like this. I think he was an entrepreneur. I think he's probably done over 9 figures, the guy that he was talking about. And his friend, essentially, what he ended up realizing was that, or what the friend told Hormozi was that, when I was winning, back in my days, is that I thought I was actually an amazing entrepreneur, right? He thought he was a beast. He thought everything that he was winning out was because of how good he is, of how good he's making at decisions, of how smart he was, of how good the systems that he had built were. But looking back a few decades, what he ended up realizing was that every time that he was winning was because there was a trend that actually made it easier for him to win, right? He ended up realizing that every single win. So as an example, if I look at our own success with client acquisition.io, we went from making like $87,000 a month to making $187,000 the next month, right? Now, the me who's egotistical would probably be like, oh my God, Serge, you're such an amazing entrepreneur. You're such a fucking shark. Oh my God, you should probably go and buy another car this month, right? But do you know what? I did not do that. I was like, hey guys, we got lucky. We're in a fucking trend. And do you know what? I'm gonna fucking run it until I fucking make $1 million a month. Okay? So the number one thing, guys, like I could even end this webinar here right now. If you guys just understand this lesson, I personally think you guys can make it unreasonable for you to not be making as much money as you want, right? Maybe you want to just be making 20K a month. Cool, that's good. Maybe you want to be making 100K profit every month. That's cool. but the way you do it is leverage trends, okay? And definition of a trend is a prevailing tendency or inclination towards something, okay? In this case, it's TikTok, anything related to TikTok, really, right? TikTok ads, TikTok, UGCs, whatever, it doesn't matter, right? There is a prevailing tendency right now in the marketplace for this mechanism, okay? And success is much more effortless, or is effortless when the market actually wants what you're selling, okay? We can even look back at my first business success, which was appointment setting, which is still one of the reasons why most people work with us. I ended up realizing that, like, why am I trying to start an advertising agency when I figured out how to book meetings, and I know how painful it was for me to, not be able to book meetings. So I started selling appointment setting services. And of course, I leverage a trend because there are so many business owners getting created online. So all of them need meetings. So I was like, oh my God, this is also a trend, right? And I scaled it to 30K a month in 4 months or less, right? Now, imagine, to understand what kind of like impact the trend can have on your business. Imagine starting a Facebook ad agency in 2014 versus starting one in 2022, right? How many people in this webinar, the hundreds of people we have, how many people have tried running and scaling a Facebook ad agency but can hardly get any meetings? Can you leave a message in the chat below? We've all been there. I know everyone. Like, it's crazy, right? But and the fact is, Facebook is not necessarily like, of course, it might be a little worse, but Facebook is still an amazing platform to actually advertise on, right? But if you tried selling it to the marketplace, you would literally grow old before you make money, right? And it's not even because the service or the product is bad. It's just because the market has become numb to the actual thing, right? Now, when you compare it to TikTok, people, it's something new. People don't really understand the platform. They're starting to understand it a little bit more, but there's a huge, chunk of the market that has not yet, that is not up to date. Okay. So, and the second thing is, it's easy to understand. Once you understand the winning content framework, to be honest, for me, I think that the hardest part around TikTok is content, because everything else, media buying, advertising, finding creators, this is easy. This is stuff that you could learn on YouTube in 2 seconds. This you can also learn on YouTube in a few seconds. But like content, knowing how to design them, all this good stuff is what's going to keep most people from not really being able to fulfill for their clients. Okay. Now, the third thing is that the success rate is through the roof, right? The average growth of that our clients see is, let's say, 5 to 10K a month in new revenue every 45 days. But clients that have launched this new TikTok offer and acquisition systems, are adding 10 to 20K per month, and literally like some will do it in less than a month, right? In like a few weeks, right? Chris, Chris, I know you've gone from like, I know you're around 20K per month right now. Can you let people know what's the time frame that you actually closed those 3 deals that got you those 20K a month?
Yeah, for sure. It was like 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 4 meetings, 4 closes. This is 2 7-figure brands, 2 other brands doing like 50K, 100K in rev.
Nice. And can you compare that to how many calls you got with before you actually started pushing this thing? At least the new, more thorough offer that you have today. How many meetings did you actually book before?
Yeah, prior, I would say I was averaging like 1 to 5 meetings a month. Now with this offer, booking 5 to 10 meetings a week, and more so like pumping up the numbers now, it's like doubling just because this offer is killing it, man.
Yeah. So 3 weeks, 0 to 20K a month, right? No money spent on ads. Well, most agencies, to be honest, will take 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Maybe some will never achieve this 100K a month mark, right? Our customers are doing it in 6 months, which is actually, for me personally, it's actually pretty insane. So yeah, you can try to start or scale a Facebook ad agency or an email marketing offer or a CRO or any other service, but it will take you a year or more to make 100K a month, right? Now, am I saying that these other offers don't work? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that they're not trendy. So you're going to have to do a lot more effort. You're going to fight an uphill battle to actually make money. Okay, that's it. I'm sure you guys have seen the case study from Amar. He went from 0 to 60K a month in 7 weeks, which was actually scary. And then I think right now he's around 150K a month, right? He did it in like the first 5 months of launching his offer, right? Amar had previously scaled a Facebook ad agency to 25K a month, but things collapsed in July of 2021 due to the iOS 14 update. He thought of ditching Facebook ads and starting email marketing, an email marketing offer, even tried launching a Snapchat offer actually, but things didn't work out. It felt like he had a job because he was always like fighting to get all things done because he was like a one-man show, right? After joining the program, Amar launched a new TikTok offer with his partner. Client acquisition started in February of 2022. By end of March, they were already doing 60K a month, right? Which is mind-blowing. Now, who is this for? So I personally think this thing is going to be for two people, right? Maybe it's for you if you're just maybe starting out and need/want to start with a winning offer. You have no desire in wanting to achieve and live the life that you want to be living. No, wait, you have no desire in waiting to achieve and live the life that you want to be living. Okay. Most people make the mistake to try and figure out everything by themselves, and they end up wasting 2 to 5 years of their life when these could have been 2 to 5 years of being free financially while you're making 20K, 50K, 100K a month, right? The old thing of like, hey, you need to get rich slow. Yeah, let's let that for the people who are, who are okay with dying broke. Now, the second person that this would be for is you're already running a successful agency or an online service business, making anywhere between 20K to 100K per month. But you're starting to realize that there's way too much resistance when you're trying to sell your current services. It's getting harder and harder for you to sign more clients or to sign at least more than 4 to 5 clients per month, right? And then you have people, you're seeing so-and-so launch their TikTok offer and scale ridiculously fast, and you don't want to be left behind because you decided not to play the game, okay? So this is really it. Maybe, maybe you're starting out, maybe you've just gone through a course and you're stuck. You're like, oh my God, this guy sold me a Facebook ad agency. I don't know if this is the right thing. Should I go to TikTok? Yeah, go to TikTok. Okay. The second thing is I know people right now who are making actually good money, right? Even I'm to a point that sometimes I'm like, yo, should I start a TikTok agency? Right? Like that, it's that bad, right? Because it's so easy when I see customers winning, right? Now, what are we going to be covering today's training? I'm going to be covering a few winning offers. I'm going to be covering our client acquisition infrastructure. I'm not going to be doing it, but Chris is going to be going in over service delivery infrastructure. Koopa is going to be going over demo and sales call process. And Ashley is going to be going over UGC packages and how you can make a profit from them. And then we're going to end with some Q&As, okay? Staying till the end will guarantee that you know everything that you need to succeed in scaling a TikTok agency past 50K a month, okay? Now, winning offers. I'm going to start with the first one. And this is the easiest one, by the way, okay? And this is what I prefer. I love this offer. Now, of course, it's an easy offer, meaning a lot of people can compete with you. But if you have authority online, you always get to take 80% of the market, even if other people can do the same thing as you, right? As an example, how many people do you guys know that do appointment setting? How many do you think are doing 150 grand a month? Not many, right? Some people can't even scale past 20K a month with their appointment setting agencies, right? But we're able to scale past, almost multiple 6-figure a month because, we've kind of built like a name for ourselves, right? So if you want to beat competition, build a name for yourself, right? We can talk about that another day. That's not the topic for today, right? But the first offer is short-form content creation and distribution offer, right? What I mean by that is you go and partner with someone, maybe a consultant, maybe a coach, maybe a real estate agent, maybe a brand, or maybe a SaaS business. Like, doesn't matter, right? Anyone who feels like they could build they need to build an audience in order to make more money. And then you're like, hey, just shoot this content. Maybe you give them this content structure and then they shoot it and then they send it to you. And then you just chop it up and then add some captions, some subtitles, and then you distribute it for them on TikTok, on Instagram Reels, and Facebook Reels, as well as Shorts. Okay. Now, a lot of people don't really understand why people would want this market, or why the market wants this offer. And even worse, most people don't actually understand the sales angle that you should leverage trying to sell this service. Okay. You see, you know what so I get around 5 pitches a week with people who have launched this offer, and I rarely ever show them any of my attention, right? Because they lack the right angle to sell me this offer, right? Most of them are like, hey, Serge, give me some of your content. I'll chop it off for you for free. I'm like, I don't want free shit. I want an amazing service, and I want you to tell me why this would be amazing for me. Okay. Now, in order for me to explain why the actual sales angle you guys should use to sell this offer, let me share with you guys a short like podcast segment that was pretty important when I actually heard it, right? This is the first time that I learned about Kunal Shah. I've never heard of him, but when I heard him say this, I was like, oh my God, who is this guy, right? And apparently he owns an $800 million company. So anyone who's built an $800 million company probably has something to teach you about business, okay? So the whole angle of this offer is that you should be selling social status. It has nothing to do with distributing content. Like, nobody cares about Reels, nobody cares about TikToks, right? But let Kunal Shah explain it. Okay. Yeah, by the way, if you guys don't check out this podcast knowledge project, then you should probably know that you're broke. Okay, but let's keep going. But check this out.
Let's believe this is true. Now, products and services, this example of, like, just imagine this. Let's say all of us are on some level of social status in life. Let's say, Shane, you are at level 90, I'm at level 60, somebody is at level 200, and so on and so forth. And let's believe this is true. Now, products and services are also at some levels in life. For example, I would say Louis Vuitton is at level 160, HBS education is at level 200. And let's imagine these things. And let's say fueling your car is at level 30, and so on and so forth. By design, gross margins exist when you allow human beings to jump their social status. And gross margins disappear when you do not help them increase their social status. For example, I will keep moving to a utility service provider as long as they keep offering me lower price, as long as the time required and the effort required is the same. Because the department of your brain that deals with that is the CFO of the brain, who's only looking for cost cuts. But the CMO of your brain is saying that, oh my God, if I crack HBS and I will be able to jump the social status and my income will multifold, and therefore it is okay to spend years, time, money to get a chance to get into Ivy League. And therefore Ivy League can keep increasing the gross margin with no trouble, because they promise, or even if they give you hope. Let's give example of Vegas right now. Vegas does not assure you you'll become rich, but the hope lottery, which is a chance of being level 30 jumping to level 200. I'm okay to go all in once in a while. Especially poor people get sucked into that a lot more, because imagine it's like being on a poker table with the smallest stack. The best strategy you feel to be on the table is to go all in all the time. So when we went through pandemic, I believe that the whole world had this amygdala hijack moment where they said,
all right, so let me try to explain this in other words. So what essentially Kunal is saying is that in life, we're born at a certain level, right? We're probably born at 0, right? And then you have to get to level 1,000, and let's say like social status wise, right? There's level 1,000, and that's where everyone wants to get to. Okay. Now, every business, or not every business really, a lot of businesses just sell products for like utility, meaning, oh, you want me to wash your windows? Cool. I don't want to do it. So this is utility. Just do it for me. Okay. But the businesses that make the most amount of money are businesses that don't actually offer utility, right? As an example, You know, the other day I went to Miami, and I was just like, yo, maybe I've never really bought anything expensive, or when it comes to like designer or stuff like that. So I went to Yves Saint Laurent, and I saw these glasses. I was like, oh shit, these are really nice, right? I didn't really check the price. I just said, hey, yeah, you know, just give me the glasses, right? It ended up being like $700, $800, right? Now, if you try to ask me for $800 to what is a utility thing that I would want done? If you tried asking me for $800 to, I don't know, to like clean my house, I'd be like, are you mad? I'd be like, it doesn't make sense, right? But glasses, like sunglasses that have no utility, it's just literally, they're just sitting there. Probably won't even wear them much. I was willing to pay $700 without even thinking twice, right? So the thing with this TikTok content offer is that when you're trying to sell it, you are not going to be saying, hey, I'm going to redistribute 20, 30 pieces of content every month. You're going to get 500 views on each, or 1,000 views. No. Stop that bullshit. Nobody cares about that. What people care about is, where are you going to bring me social status wise, right? So the angle that you use to sell it is, you're going to be like, hey, I'm going to make you the #1 go-to person in your industry. I'm going to get you more known than Alex Formosi, right? Because a lot of people actually believe that they have an amazing service, but they're not known. So people have no respect for them, right? So the angle that you use is, forget the mechanism, like forget the features. Nobody cares. Oh my God, guys, nobody cares, right? What people care about is, can you sell me something that makes me go up in social status, right? As an example, let's say you go to a university somewhere in your neighborhood, or somewhere in any city in the world, and they're like, hey, it costs $20,000 a year to go to. You're going to be like, oh my God, that's so much money, right? But then you go to Harvard, and let's say it's 100 grand or 200 grand or $500,000, right? And do you know what? People are like, oh my God, it's so cheap. Not because Harvard has better teachers, not because Harvard has better knowledge. I mean, it's universal knowledge. Like, it's not like it's something new, right? But just to have the fact that you went to Harvard takes you from level 0 to level 500 in society. That's what people buy. That's what people buy, nice cars. That's why people fly private. That's why people go to the club, spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on alcohol, guys. Do you guys get the point? Like, it's stupid what people do for money, right? So status is the thing we sell. Okay, we don't sell any more features, right? If you guys join our program, I'm not selling you guys 50K a month. I'm selling you guys what comes with 50K a month. Okay. So is it clear? Is it clear now on why? Yeah, I don't even think it's selling futures, guys. It's literally selling the core basic. People want approval from others. People want to be considered. People want to feel good, right? And you need to be known. You need to have people know you for who you are, and respect you for that. So yeah, that's why most people do everything. Okay. So and then guess what? Anyone who's competing with feature like utility businesses. So an example, like paid ads agencies. Let's say you're like, oh, I'm gonna run ads for you. I'm gonna get you a 5x return. Okay. And then you have another agency who's like, hey, I'm gonna get you a 5x return, and if I can get it, I'm gonna give you $5,000, right? What ends up happening with businesses like people who run advertising agencies is that they're providing utility, right? And what happens is that the market will always go to the person who delivers utility at the cheapest cost, right? Because if I have someone who's saying like, hey, I can do the same thing that he's promised you to do for half the price, well, I'm going to go with that person, right? Unless that person is actually offering me status. Maybe it's someone who's famous, and just by working with them, I'm going to like go up a level, right? Or being friends with him, right? But what ends up happening with agencies that sell utility is that their gross margins literally disappear. I swear to God, I cannot tell you how many ads I see from agency owners saying, hey, I'll do this for free. And if I can't do it for free, I'll actually even pay you. At this point, I'm like, guys, how do you even fucking make your money, guys? How can your agency make money? It doesn't make sense. You're promising. It's like, stop competing on price, level up your status, and make sure that people come to you and they're willing to pay 10 times what they would pay for The same thing elsewhere. Guys, you gotta stop competing on price. That's mad. Why is our program 15 grand? Because I don't want to be competing with other broke boys out there who's trying to sell you like outreach or VAs for $1,000 or $2,000. That's crazy. What you get here is something completely different. Okay. But anyway, this is an important point for me to make because I have like, once you understand it, it can help you out a lot. Okay. So you're selling X person in a Y niche to jump to the top 1% of their industry by leveraging a content machine and leveraging the virality of the TikTok or just these short form content algorithms. Okay, because it's really easy to actually blow up, right? I had a TikTok of mine go to like 200,000 views, and I had like I had the whole continent of Africa DMing me every day, asking me to teach them how to make money. When I go to Rwanda, I'll probably have like maybe 20,000 girlfriends waiting for me. I'm joking, but no, guys, like it can really, you can really go viral a lot. Okay, so the opportunity cost. Now, let me also explain to you guys, because a lot of people have the objection of, oh, why wouldn't Serge go and hire someone, an editor from, I don't know, from the Philippines, from somewhere in Mexico, to do it for like $500 to $1,000 a month? Well, let me show you. Okay. Well, the truth is, I can definitely go. I actually have someone, an editor from the Philippines that I pay $500, but do you know what? I'm still paying more money to someone else to edit other pieces of content, right? But why wouldn't someone edit the content themselves? That's also another objection, right? Well, let's say client acquisition revenue in the last 28 days has been $157,000. Okay. Let's say I work 30 hours a week. That's 120 hours a month. That, if you divide that by number of work, I probably, let's say, make 1.3K an hour. Okay. Now, if I was to edit my own content, it would be costing me $1,000 per hour that I edit the content, right? And it would probably take me 3 hours a month to do it, right? So it probably end up costing me like almost like $4 grand to do it, right? So why would I, in what world would it make sense for me to edit my content myself when I can get someone to do it for 1.5K, 2.5K, and spend 10 to 20 hours a month doing it? Okay. So that's why most people will not do it themselves, or they will not even go find someone to even hire, right? They'd rather have it done. For people who are making money, they want shit done. Okay. Leilani launched this offer. She's a girl who jumped in the program a few months ago, went through a course, didn't see success. And when she jumped in our offer, she first tried launching a e-com offer, TikTok offer. But I was like, hey, you're just getting started. E-com can be a little tricky. So why don't you launch this TikTok content offer? And a few days later, she signed her first client, 2.5K. And yeah, easy money. She just got started. It was probably like her second sales call ever, right? And then can also be the content offer, right? A lot of people say, oh, but content doesn't deliver outcome. Content doesn't deliver ROI. Well, that's if you stop at this first level. Okay. So most people who are pushing this content offer will do this, right? They'll be like, hey, I'll do B2B content creation, TikTok reels, Hormozy style videos. I'll do content topics, editing. I'll add the subtitles. I'll chop it up, whatever. And then I'll consistently post on your page 5 to 7 days a week. Okay. And then they find a contractor who's good at editing the thing, and then use the biggest personal brands in the niche as your case studies, right, to try to sell it. But if you really want to become a beast at this offer, what you do is you actually go a step further, right? And you actually help that person, your client, convert that new audience into money. Okay. So an example of a headline could be, hey, I'm making it unreasonable for real estate agents struggling to get known, scale their personal brand, and falling past 50,000 followers by leveraging TikTok, whatever the TikTok mechanism can be, in 6 months or less, right? So as an example, you can easily get 2,000 views on every other reel that you post, right? And from there, that real estate agent is probably going to be getting around 100 followers at the lowest to 500 followers per week, every single week, okay? Now, what ends up happening is that if you're smart, if you know how to run acquisition, is you would build a Facebook group and call it Home Buyers and Sellers Insights, right? How to sell your home for 3 times the price. Create a Facebook group for that. Embed the link on their TikTok and their Instagram. You add a few questions to qualify everyone who joins the Facebook group, okay? And then you hire a virtual assistant to to start conversation with everyone who joins that group, and you try to book them on a meeting. Hey, do you have a home that you need to sell? Oh, you don't have a home? Would you be interested in having in selling a home in the next, or buying a home in the next few months? Okay, so now you've grown their audience, but you've actually also built a conversion mechanism, and now the person cannot fire you, right? This is how you can go from charging $2,000 to charging 5-10 grand a month, right? So this is the first offer. Is it clear? Is it clear, my people? Yes, yes, yeah. Just shoot it again in the comment. Perfect. All right. Now let's go to the next one. This next one is pretty straightforward, guys. Paid ads and UGCs to e-com or B2B. Most of our clients are pushing this offer, and it's pretty straightforward. Solve the biggest bottleneck of these companies, which is user-generated content creation and distribution at scale. Add in a little bit of advertising on TikTok, right? Paired with Facebook. Don't forget that Facebook is going to need to be included with your offer, guys, because TikTok is not as great at retargeting as Facebook. So make sure you include it, right? But don't go in and saying, hey, I'll do Facebook ad for you. No way. They'll not even pay attention to you, right? Sell them what they want and then give them what they need, okay? And then once you've introduced the mechanism, just make them wealthy, right? We just had Mezue sign 2 clients literally like last night. This is from yesterday. 2.5K plus 20% ROAS. About to close another one for 3K plus 20% ROAS after 3 calls, right? So these are his first 3 sales calls, guys. This is not, oh, this is just 3 calls. This is like his first 3 sales calls. It's pretty insane. Okay. And guess what? No prior experience to TikTok. He was in some other course that, was telling him to do some other stuff. And he was literally like client-less for the past 7 months, right? Yeah, first wins in the program. So yeah, August is about to be a big month for him, right? UGC creator and influencer consulting. Okay, this one is a pretty good thing. It's a pretty interesting offer. But one thing I'm going to say is, do not go to this offer if you're not knowledgeable about this thing, right? I know a lot of people are going to try to sell. I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't suggest you go to consulting unless you've actually had done for you experience, right? If you have not launched an agency in your life, if you have not done for you work, stop trying to consult people, guys. You don't understand what it actually takes to win yourself. So why would you go and consult people? Okay. So this is not for you if you're literally just starting out and you've never done anything in your life. Okay. Stop that. Go sell some done for you, get in the trenches, fail a lot. And then from your failures, you can have knowledge that you can actually sell to people. Okay. So it's pretty simple. This offer, how it would look like is you find creators and influencers who want to scale past 10 to 50K a month with their personal brand. And then you solve their content creation bottlenecks, right? So you would increase throughput by elevating the constraints. So what I mean by that is maybe you help them build a backend that helps them distribute a lot of content, right? An example, you can help them hire editors, or maybe you can have editors in-house that do it for them so that they can push out a whole bunch more content, right? Or you can do research and figure out the content that works better, right? Now, the next thing that you would do is you would consult them or help them build their client acquisition infrastructure. And it could be like a 4 to 6 week process, right? We have a client who just launched this offer. He launched it at the beginning of this month from literally 0, right? He signed, I think, like 4 or 5 clients this month, and he's like 16.1K, $16,000, $100 this month, right? Collected 0 to 16K in less than a month is pretty good. And he's consulting influencers. Now, this guy has skin in the game. He has actually helped influencers done for you scale to like a following of like 4 million followers, right? So he has an amazing case study, okay? And he has amazing, proof of concept. He actually understands the game and he can help people, right? Now, if you want to play a better game, a more long-term game, right? You would build a community of creators and build a management offer where you get a percentage of each brand deal that you bring to each influencer, right? I know a lot of people. I mean, that's how management companies work, right? Let's say people who manage, you know, like people like Drake or people like Chris Brown or influencers like, you know, Kylie Jenner, like, you know, the people who make the most amount of money, like, of course, Kylie is going to make a lot of money, but do you know how much their management, how much like in management fees they take from their revenue? It's insane. Imagine getting 30% of $1 billion. That would be fucking crazy, right? Or you help them get a $10,000 deal and then you take 30%, that's $3 grand, or you get 50% of the deal, right? So this could be an amazing offer too. And you can also help them, you can build a long-term offer off of it, okay? Now, these are the 3 offers that I'm going to discuss today. I'm not going to go into more. I don't think you guys need more stuff, or else it might be a long presentation today. Okay. So client acquisition infrastructure, right? So I had a client the other day ask me, hey, Serge, like I want to go to 0 to 50K a month in 90 days, right? And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Well, let's do the math on what you need in order to do 50K a month in 90 days. Because to be honest, it's definitely possible. If you can do 50K a year, you can do it in 90 days, right? You just have to do as much volume that you did in that year. You just condense it into 90 days, okay? And I'm going to show you the math right now. So let's say the average ticket price is $4,000 a month, and we know that you need 13 clients to actually pull this off. In 90 days, you would need to sign around 12 clients, which is 4 clients per month. You would need 26 sales calls, to if you have a 15% closing rate, which to be honest, as you guys just heard Chris mention it, he has like 75 to 100% closing rate. So that means that you probably are going to need less calls, but let's be pessimistic and let's just say that, hey, you have a 15% closing rate, right? Well, you would need 26 sales calls to actually close 4 clients a month, right? Now, let's say the show up rate is 75%. You would need 34 sales calls to actually have these 26 people show up on a call, right? Now, how do you actually get 34 sales calls, right? Well, in order to have 34 people jump on a call with you, you kind of like need warm leads that are interested in the offer first, right? Now, let's say you have a 7.5% warm lead rate, okay, when you're doing outreach. So that means that you would need 453 warm leads every month in order for you to book them on, no, actually the 7.5% books a meeting. So you need 453 warm leads to book 7.5% of them on a sales call, which is 34 sales calls, right? Now, let's say you have a 2.5 to 5% warm lead rate, meaning every DM that you send, 2.5% to 5% of them become a warm lead. Well, you would need around 18,000 DMs to 9,000 DMs or outreach per month, okay? This is the volume that is required. If you're at 5%, then you need to be sending out at least minimum 9,000 outreaches per month. If you have a shittier warm lead rate, or warm lead rate, you would need 18,000 DMs per month, right? Now, what is the daily outreach required to hit your goal? 2.5% and 18,000 DMs per month divided by 24 working days. That's 750 outreach per day, okay? And this is why I see people doing like 100 or 50 or 20 outreach per day. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, why are you in business in the first place? Why don't you just give up and just go to sleep or watch a TV show? Because it's essentially the same thing. You're doing 100 outreach per day when if you actually want to get rich fast, you need to be doing 750. Well, that means that it will take you a whole week to do what others do in a day. If someone, it takes them six months to see success, it's going to take you like, I don't even know, I can't even count it, right? It's a whole lot of years, right? So that's what I would suggest is like, hey guys, like dial in, bro, guys, like you need an actual infrastructure. You can't run a business off of just 20 DMs a day. Like, are you serious, right? So with a 5% warm lead rate, you would need 9,000 outreach per month. Divided by 24 working days, that's still a good chunk of outreach per day, 375 outreach per day, okay? Which is why you actually need an infrastructure. Which is why in our program, we're not, I swear to God, like if you guys go into a course and that person says, hey, do 50 outreach per day, like unfollow them, block them, and tell it to their mother, okay? Like, just, it's actually unethical to tell you that you need to do 50 hours per day. Because it's actually like, it's so hard to actually win in this space. Because everybody's grandmother, friend, family, uncle is actually starting an online business. So it's getting harder and harder to actually book meetings. Okay. So every time for our clients, the minimum is 375 or 300 outreach per day. We get them 2 VAs or 2 outreach specialists. And we're also launching other email services to make sure that it's unreasonable for them not to be doing at least 300 to 1,000 DMs per day, because that's what creates success. Okay, Chris, I'll let you go in and do your own thing. So Chris is about to share just a little bit of what he's doing, and yeah, you guys will get to see how he's doing his own thing, how his acquisition looks like. Because yeah, he's been pushing, and I'm sure you guys probably follow him online. But you know, he's a guy that has been crazy. He stays in, he stays locked in. And I mean, the success that he's starting to see, it's like it was due, right? I swear to God, like I can tell sometimes when I get a few customers, like there are customers who are a bit different, right? They're like their whole being is about their business. And if you guys look at me online, it's like I don't really talk about anything else besides business, right? Because you need to be like, I don't know how to say it, but you need to be obsessed. And it's not even really obsession, it's more like you need to become the business, right?
100%. Yeah, appreciate that, Serge. Appreciate you having me on this webinar. All you guys, what's up? So just background on me, right? I got enrolled to the program with Serge probably like 4 months ago, 5 months ago. From there, I really got pushed into this whole TikTok space. I myself have been in the e-com game, running my own agency for about like 2 years. So same thing with a similar process where I had a Facebook agency, saw TikTok blow up. Serge helped me pivot to that. And then I just want to share with you guys my acquisition systems and also what the backend looks like. So if we take a look at the whole agency model as a whole, there's levels to it, right? You have agency owners making only 10K a month in retainers. They're happy with just the retainers. You have agencies collecting 10% of rev share deals from the ecom brand owners, making anywhere from like 100K a month, 500K a month from just one single client. So I want to break this down for you guys. Like what separates a bad agency from a good agency is, of course, the ability to sell their skills and also the ability to deliver so that they can retain those clients for more than 3 months. And then there's another level on top of that. What separates a good agency from a great agency is not only having like A+ players on your team, but the standards when they work with these brand owners is so much higher because they essentially take over the whole marketing department from that ecom brand owner. They have stake in the company. They own 20-25% equity in that company for that ecom brand. And they push to sell that brand to multiple millions. And then that agency alone is collecting 500K profit just from one client. So there's levels to it. And essentially when you get involved into it, the main problem is like you need to focus on service delivery, but you can't really focus on service delivery if you don't have any clients to work with, right? So it's more so the acquisition side of it. So we have to reverse engineer the problem. We don't want to work with ecom brand owners who are doing like less than 30K a month, especially if you're pushing this TikTok offer, because brands with lower budgets, they don't have the ability to run ads, right? So it makes sense to like downsell those people onto like the organic side of things or something lower barrier to entry. But when it comes to running ads, right, you want a brand that has market validation, they have budget, they have the ability to test, because this process is not going to happen overnight. Once you essentially give them and be able to double their revenue from one platform like TikTok, and then you slowly integrate systems like Facebook and other platforms like backend email, SMS, right? Then you're essentially taking over their whole marketing department. And then you can ask for like a rev share deal. You can charge a higher retainer. So it's a domino effect. But more so, like the first things first is you guys need meetings, you guys need clients to then fulfill the service delivery with the right team, because you don't know what you don't know, especially when you're starting out. So what my acquisition system looks like is I'm posting content daily on IG Reels, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, right? I want to be known in this space more than anybody else, right? Because when it comes to people look at my profile, I was able to close deals just from people scrolling on my profile on Instagram, checking me out, looking at the value I provide, because they say, oh, wow, this guy knows what he's talking about, compared to somebody who's just sending out outreach. There's no face to the actual message, right? So the acquisition channels I utilize is every single acquisition channel possible, right? So with emails, right, I have the ability to target these 7-figure brands. Like like 2-3 weeks ago, I closed 2 7-figure brands just from emails alone. The volume I'm doing is I'm doing 200, 300 emails per day. With that, I have custom lines so that each owner reads my email and they understand, okay, this is personalized. This guy's done his research. He's not just like everybody else doing that outreach, right? So that's the volume I'm doing from emails, and I'm seeing great results from emails. When it comes to LinkedIn, right? The ability on LinkedIn is you can display your authority, you can display the content side of it, and also you can build a following via connections. So on LinkedIn, I'm doing 100, 200 messages per day. From there, I'm making 3 to 4 posts per week. On top of that, I'm booking 5 to 10 meetings a week alone on LinkedIn. Same process with Instagram, right? From there, with Instagram, you reach out to these brands, you give a personalized message to them. From there, you're able to send a Loom video. That's like a 2-3 minute Loom video that's so personable to them that they see your process, they see what separates yourself from another agency. When you hop on a sales call with them, the likelihood of them closing is so much higher because you already provided so much value. From that value alone, they can go and run their own business or fix what's wrong with their advertising to then just double the revenue, right? So that's what I utilize for Instagram outreach, right? We're doing anywhere from 100 to 100 messages per day. We're doing 10 to 15 Loom requests. We're getting 5 to 10 meetings a week from that alone. Twitter is an untapped channel that's not been utilized, right? A lot of people don't even know how you can sign clients on Twitter. With Twitter, the same way you can build authority on Instagram, same way you can build authority on like Facebook or LinkedIn, you take that same approach and build that on Twitter with threads, long form content, releasing PDFs, giving insight about what you do to other people. From there, you're able to like grow an audience of like 500,000 people, even 2,000 people. And the smart, sophisticated buyers aren't on Facebook anymore, right? The smart, sophisticated buyers with e-com, they're on other platforms like Twitter, like Instagram, like even LinkedIn, right? Even though Facebook, the quality has diminished, you're still able to sort out and work with e-com brand owners, especially if we're targeting the e-com space. You're still going to have coaches, consultants, realtors, everybody else on Facebook. It depends on what you're trying to sell, what the offer is, and who your target audience is, right? E-com brand owners, you have to figure out where they stay. You have to provide content that wants them to engage with your service, because ultimately, right, they're at a different, I don't know, sophisticated rate compared to your average e-com brand owner, right? A 7-figure brand, they're not going to be on Facebook. A 7-figure brand, they're going to be busy running their own company, right? So it's important that for the acquisition side of things, we hit them on every single variable possible to get their attention, to educate them on our process, so that when it comes time to get them on a meeting, right, closing them on a deal, your closing rate's going to be higher because they know who you are compared to somebody else just cold emailing, cold DMing. So that's a little bit background of like all the acquisition channels I'm utilizing from the deals we've closed. In terms of service delivery, right? It's very important. Like you can sign a client, you can close them for like a 3-month retainer, but ultimately what separates, like I mentioned before, a good agency from a great agency is ultimately how fast can you get them results, communication aspect of it, the onboarding process, and ultimately like the onboarding process is pretty much like the important factor. This is where like I would say 80%, 90% of a client decides whether they're going to stay with you longer term just from how you onboard them, right? It's easy to close them. It's easy to talk big talk, but it all comes down to the next steps after that, so that your brand, your team can do what they do in order to guarantee success, right? So in terms of like our onboarding process, everything we have is automated. I utilize Go High Level, utilize Slack, and I'll just like walk you guys through what that looks like. But essentially, right, when somebody books in, I had worked with Serge he helped me build this out as well for our onboarding process. From here, they go in, they book in, they see the calendar, they see our case studies, they see the value we have. So they already know who I am as an individual. From there, we onboard them, right? Everything's pretty much, they fill out this agreement. We agree to the terms. They get sent over to Slack. From Slack alone, right? My team gets notified when we have a client on board. Everybody's aware of like this information right here comes from the onboarding form. My team is all hands on deck. What do we need? Who's our customer? Who's our customer avatar? Who are we targeting? For influencers, right? We have a set idea from this onboarding alone. Who do we need to reach out to have creators on board to start shooting content, right? So that's what we do in terms of like everything's just in a centralized system. There's timelines, there's deadlines, there's ways that the whole onboarding process is there so that we bring the client experience is top notch. No other agency owner I know that's doing this has everything automated. And also our team is structured in a way where they have the timelines, they have the deadlines, they know what they need to do in order to guarantee success for each client, right? So not only is it that you have to invest into your acquisition, you have to invest into getting these meetings on autopilot, but also you have to reinvest back into your business so that ultimately you retain these clients longer term, because you're doing what every other agency isn't doing, having the onboarding process, having everything that is there to really separate yourself from, let's say, a beginner agency to an agency owner now that could possibly get stake in the e-com brand, getting that to 7 figures. So that's really all I had to cover today. And
Yeah, I'll start with the acquisition. So, most of you guys probably just saw how much, how much outreach he's doing and how many acquisition channels he's leveraging. And, that's what it takes to win. You don't add 20K in 3 weeks a month if you're just doing average activity, right? And you should, if right now you're not, because to be honest, I think it's pretty easy to make it unreasonable for anyone in 2022 not to be earning like 20, 30, 50K a month. But in order for you to actually make it unreasonable for that to happen, you need to be doing volume. And the only way you can do volume is you need an infrastructure, guys. It's not, oh, I'm just going to set up instantly, or I'm just going to set up Lemlist and then I'm going to scrape a few leads and then I'm going to do it. No. You start with how much outreach do I need to be doing a day? 500? Okay, cool. What channels am I going to be leveraging? Okay, I'm going to be using 3 channels or 2 channels. Okay, I figure out 2 channels. Okay, who's going to be leveraging this channel? Can I automate the other channel? Who's going to be sourcing the lead? So it's like you need to see a business as a system. If right now the way that you're running your business is you do things when you feel like doing it, you're not going to scale, right? And I can give you guys an example from my own business. In January, I was in London and we did 60K a month. I had, technically like 1 growth specialist, 1 person who's mainly booking meetings. And I was like, if I can make 50, 70K a month, why can't I make $250,000 a month? I already have 1 person doing it. Oh, I'm like, okay, I just need to scale the infrastructure. And I just reverse engineered how many growth specialists I needed. And I ended up hiring 4 people, and we went from 70 to 100 meetings a month to 300 meetings a month, 60 days later, right? All from just realizing that like the success is already there. You just need the infrastructure to create more success, okay? So, yeah, guys, if you're not doing enough volume, like, I'm sorry, but like, it's literally the core. It's like the basic, it's the fundamentals, right? So, Koopa, you want to go ahead and present your demo and sales process? Let me make you the, 1 second. Let me make you a co-host. All right, cool. You can share now.
All right, perfect. Yeah, so thank you very much, everyone. So my name is Cooper, founder and CEO of BTK Digital. So I run my own agency, of course, TikTok agency, as well as being a white label partner. So essentially, I partner up with a few of the customers who are launching their own TikTok offer to obviously help them with the fulfillment side if they're looking to white label. Now, before I get into obviously what I'm talking about here, which is a template of what I would tend to follow if you want to guarantee that you want to close the deals consistently and get a good close rate. Obviously being a white label partner is different to just being an agency owner. I have to accommodate my own clients in my own niche, as well as customers' clients in various different niches. So to begin with, the way I sort of go about sales calls or just the whole sales process is I like to break mine down into 2 parts. Now, there's demo calls and there's sales calls. These are 2 very different things. And I've realized a lot of agency owners, they sort of get this mixed up, whereby a client will book in a discovery call or a demo call, and you're trying to pitch them at 4K, 20% ROAS. And I think, sometimes you have to go back, reevaluate what is the customer looking for, what have they booked in, and trying to offer giving them the knowledge that they're looking for. So to start off with, what am I going to be talking about? So I'm going to talk about what's the difference. I'm going to talk about a phrase that I like to use a lot, which is being switched on. I'm going to talk about demo calls, sales calls, and do not push the one call close. This is just my advice. Again, other agency owners obviously use different things. And again, being switched on means you're able to read whether it's a one call close or it's not a one call close. So that's the main thing I'm going to be talking about, then a little quote at the end. So to start off with, what is a demo call? Now, a demo call is whereby you get to know the client, get to know their business, get to know what their offer is, what product, what service are they doing, and you showcase a bit of your expertise, probably show them a bit about a case study about a previous client or brand that you've worked with. And again, show them previous and current clients. So in a sense, you're just showcasing or giving them a taster in what to expect and proving it by showing them what you've done before. Now, what's a sales call? A sales call is where you take their problem that they've maybe told you in a demo call or they've told you by email and you become their savior. Now, in a sales call, what you want to do is you don't want to give them a solution to a problem that they don't have, which is the misconception I see a lot of people have, whereby you go into a call and you have your own solution, or you say, hey, I want to pitch you paid advertising and UGC when potentially they need consulting, or you're pitching them UGC when they need paid advertising and they already have their content rather, or you're pitching them paid advertising and they need organic management. So again, be the savior to the problem that they have. Don't solve a problem that doesn't exist. Now, being switched on. When you get into a call, I think everyone who's had a sales call can pretty much attest to this, that you know whether there's going to be a one call close or not when you jump on the call. You know whether the customer is ready to pay. You know pretty much whether the customer is ready to jump on board or they're not. I think a lot of agency owners, when they're starting out, you jump on a call, you're probably nervous, probably excited, probably both, and you're trying to push your offer too much, trying to get the ball rolling too much. And I think the first thing I always say to do is assess the situation, see what problems the brand is having, see what solutions that you can realistically apply, and also look at your offer as well in terms of what you're offering them. Make sure that you obviously are assessing the situation, whether the customer or the potential client is ready for a sales call, or they're even willing to even hear your offer yet. Sometimes I think it's good to take a note of what the particular brand is offering. And yeah, once you know what type of services they're offering, what type of products they're having, then you can move towards a sales call, which I will touch on a timeline and a time frame of how I like to do things. So let's have a look at this diagram I have here, which sort of breaks down the main three determining factors that I think. Okay, so I think one of the biggest problems, or the biggest problem in any sales call is, again, are you able to mitigate the concerns of the client? And I think sometimes that gets overlooked and people think that it's more about their offer or how they're delivering their offer. But again, most clients, especially when it comes to TikTok, they're going to have a lot of concerns, whether one, are you the right agency to take them forward? Two, is this service even right for their particular brand? Now, those are probably the main reasons why a business won't come on board with the agency. So again, if you're looking to close calls as efficiently as possible, you have to mitigate the concerns. And the only way you can do that is by actually finding out what the concerns of that particular brand are. Now, again, another big part that Serge covered was obviously the offer. What are you giving them? Are you giving them an offer that they want, or are you giving them an offer that you want to give them and force feed them down their throat? Now, another thing is how you deliver the offer, which is probably slightly or equally as important as the offer itself. How are you portraying the offer? Are you highlighting their problem and showing how your offer solves the problem that they're currently having? Or are you just finding out what their problem is, which is, let's say they're looking to scale. Right now, they're averaging 3 ROAS, and you're just telling them about the UGC is going to be great. We're going to do this and that for your business. So focus on how you're delivering the offer. Always look to be the savior, like I mentioned before. Show them how your offer is going to solve the exact problem that they are having, not solve a problem that doesn't exist. Now, let's talk more about how I would structure the demo call and look at the time frame during the call that I would use. So the call is booked. At the beginning of the call, I tend to do a deep dive into the client's business, get to know exactly what they're selling, get to know the whole processes, what industry, what niche, and get to know as much detail about the business as you can. Now, you're going to use this later on as ammunition for your offer, because again, a business can tell me, hey, they have a problem with, they don't have enough UGC, or the content they have is not good enough. And you have to use that as ammunition for the basis of your offer, highlighting why your agency is specifically going to mitigate this exact problem they have. Now, after you've obviously got to know them in detail about what they're currently doing, I would then move to introducing yourself and your agency. And again, we're selling TikTok, so you have to highlight the benefit of TikTok, highlight the problems that TikTok is going to mitigate. Most businesses tend to be coming from Facebook, running Facebook ads, probably iOS 14. They're not scaling as aggressively as they would like to be. So highlight how cold targeting on TikTok is obviously much cheaper for businesses compared to Facebook. But again, like Serge says, TikTok is always paired with Facebook, so tend to retarget on Facebook. So highlight just a bit about exactly what offer you're doing, why TikTok probably relates to the current situation they're having. Now, once you've highlighted a bit about yourself and your agency, I always like to link this to some experience and some case studies. Always show the client the case studies before they ask. I think it just asserts a bit more authority if you're taking that step to showcase your results. Again, the brand is more likely to realize that you know what you're talking about if you're backing yourself up with case studies. And then I tend to simply ask the client, what are they looking for? Again, this comes to mitigating the problem that they have. There's no point me giving them an offer for a problem that they don't have if they haven't told me their offer yet. So I think find out exactly what they're looking for, and find out what is their biggest problem right now when it comes to their paid advertising. If you don't find out their biggest problem, you can't be your savior. Remember, I said you have to be the savior and solve the exact problem that they're currently facing. Now, in the demo call, I still like to introduce my offer and make them aware of my pricing. Again, the main reason for that is if a brand knows my rough pricing or the ballpark of the offers I'm going to give them, if they do come on board that sales call, there's going to be a little bit less friction because they already know how much I'm going to charge them. So the likelihood of, for example, if I don't mention my pricing at all, they come on the sales call and now I say I charge them 10K per month, they might be taken back and say, whoa, 10K, I thought this was a 1 or 2K per month service. But if you let them know that, hey, I've worked with brands like X, Y, and Z, for this type of stuff, I've tended to charge them this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go away, speak with my team, come back to you with a more appropriate offer that relates specifically to your brand and how we can help you scale from A to B. That's the type of way I'll structure that sort of introducing your offer and at least letting them know your rough pricing and that you're a high ticket service at the end of the day. So now let's move on to the sales call structure. Again, once the client's gone away and now you're in the sales call stage, what you want to do is, again, get them to come back to you with any questions they're going to have about your agency, about you, social proof, and just about your whole process and how everything works. Again, from the beginning of the sales call, answer any questions that they're likely to have, or any concerns that may have arisen in the time between the demo call and the sales call. It's always good to get these things cleared first so that when you start talking about the numbers, there's not still any issues that have not been covered. It just reduces a bit of the friction throughout the process. Now, again, when understanding what the client is looking for, it's good to understand the expectations for the service delivery. Now, depending on what you've promised them, the client's going to have a certain expectation, and depending on what other agencies have promised them, or other agencies experience, they're going to have different expectations. Now, some clients may think you can spend 1K and make 100K in a month, which is obviously not possible. So again, make them aware of the expectations, and if they're unrealistic, let the client know that these expectations are not realistic, and bring them back down to earth and tell them the truth. Tell them exactly what type of results they're likely to experience. Because again, what we don't want to do is lie to the clients just to get them to sign. And then when they sign, you now have problems with unfulfilled promises and the client then leaves. Then after you've set the expectations that the client is looking for, you again address what is their biggest concern moving forward with you as an agency. If they have no concerns, then boom, sign the deal. If they have any concerns, again, highlight your expertise in solving this specific problem, showcase how you've solved a similar problem for brand X, which you worked with in year Y, and tell them, hey, look, you might have a problem with, okay, you've worked with this agency before and they didn't get you good content. That's a good question. A similar brand I work with, for example, brand X, had the same issue while working with another Facebook ads agency or a TikTok agency, and they came on board, we got them better content, and they went from X revenue to Y revenue. So that's an issue that you don't have to worry about. Then again, after you've sort of covered again any sort of concerns that they would have and any sort of issues or concerns that they have, make your final offer, obviously letting them know your pricing, and again, make sure the offer specifically mitigates their biggest problem. If their biggest problem was content, although you're going to be doing paid ads and the content, make sure your offer sort of emphasizes how you're going to mitigate the problem that they previously had, which was they either didn't have enough UGC, for example, or they didn't have enough good quality UGC. Make sure you highlight that you're going to be able to mitigate these issues. Again, gives them a bit more confidence that you're listening to their issues rather than you're just pushing out your offer, which the market doesn't want. Now, let's move forward to the key fundamentals, I think, which play a big role in obviously closing deals. So again, do they have a budget? I think I've been working with a couple of the students or the customers on the course recently in how they're structuring the deals that they're giving clients. I think a good way to structure the deal is give the client a full figure of, okay, you're going to spend this much on the service fee, this much on performance fee, and this much on ad spend. So your total for the marketing I'm going to be doing is going to be X amount. Rather than telling the client, hey, look, okay, my service fee is 4K. The client comes on board and now you're telling them, hey, look, I want to spend 7K this month, and the client had no prior knowledge. I think it's good to be transparent with the client. Let them know the total figure. Again, it positions your offer slightly better when you're sort of telling them, hey, look, even though you won't obviously have any access to the ad spend itself, I think it's good to make them aware of your total offer, and so they get a complete picture of the package deal that you're offering. Now, again, expectations, which I've just touched on, make sure the expectations are clear. Make sure you can deliver on the expectations you're promising. That's the most important thing. You don't want to be offering things that you know you can't fulfill or keep the promises on. So again, make sure there's clear expectations. If a client comes on and they understand the expectations, it's going to be a lot easier to work with, and it's going to be a lot less friction between yourself and the client, and everything will pretty much stay smooth, and they'll obviously then stay on for a longer period of time. Again, your offer, Serge touched on a couple of offers which are good. So make sure that your offer is what the market wants. And again, make sure that your offer is something that's mitigating any problems that the clients have. Again, delivery of your offer, make sure you make it clear that you're solving the exact problems they have, and make sure, again, moving to the final point, that you're sort of doing doubt mitigation, any sort of concerns that they have, make sure you mitigate those concerns, because that's the main thing. Clients, if they're jumping on a call with you, it already means that they're willing to come on board, or they're willing to do TikTok as a service. It just means their main question is, are you the right agency to take them forward in terms of TikTok? That's probably the main question they're trying to see, weighing up the options. So make sure that you mitigate any doubts, and show them how your agency is positioned differently, and how you can essentially be the agency to take them where they need to go. Now, again, don't push the one call close. I think you have to put yourself in the shoes of the potential client. For example, if you were an e-commerce brand owner doing 100K a month, and you jump on a call with this person you've been speaking to for 1 or 2 emails, and they're telling you, hey, it's 5K a month, let's get this done now. What is your likely response? Probably no. So again, I always say, do the discovery call where you showcase who you are, what you do. Then once you've done that, the sales call, in a sense, you'll be much better positioned rather for the sales call to then push out an offer. Once again, you've given the client a bit of time to think about your offer, or the service itself. But again, in the demo call, always make sure you book in the follow-up call on the demo call, because again, you don't want to leave clients in the demo call and say, hey, I'm going to email you tomorrow and get the sales call booked, because the likelihood is tomorrow they won't answer you. So make sure that you always book in the next steps in the previous call. So if it's the demo call, book in the sales call on the demo call. If it's the sales call, book in the onboarding call on the sales call. Make sure you're always giving the client the next steps as soon as possible, or once you're speaking to them. That way, they don't really have time to go away and find a reason not to come on board with the agency. Because trust me, if you give clients a reason, they won't come on board with the agency. So make sure you try to speed up the process as much as possible. And yeah, that's pretty much everything I had to say. So yeah, if you do come on board with obviously the program, I'm one of the white label partners. I help a lot of customers do the fulfillment. Now, the goal of white labeling is not me to fulfill your services for the next 10 years. It's to sort of help you bridge the transition while you're hiring your own team. In a sense, I'll help you, and will help you rather, as long as all the other white label partners bridge the gap. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thanks, man. Pretty cool presentation. All right, cool. So let's get into straight up into the packaging, right? One of the things that a lot of people had questions around was the UGC packaging. How do you actually price it? How do you pay people? How, blah, 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 all that good stuff. So I'll let Ashley, just go in and share some gems. So Ashley, let me make you a host. Then, yeah, let's get into it.
Cool. Everyone hear me? Cool. Whilst I'm just going to share my screen, guys, how good is this webinar right now? If you think this is good, just drop any money emoji in the chat right now, because guys, August is coming. You guys are going to make some serious money from this. Like, there's no questions asked about this. So let's do this, guys. I'm going to run through this and exactly that. Right, I'm going to share my screen. All right, can you guys see that? Cool. Okay, guys, so we spoke a lot in terms about TikTok. In fact, before I even go into that, I'm going to tell you who I am. So my name's Ashley. I've been in the agency world for a long time now. Before I actually started running my own agency, I went the long route. I started working at other agencies to kind of get an understanding how it all worked, how the whole process worked, and all that good stuff. Along the way, I worked with some big brands. I've worked with like Adidas, Reebok, American Airlines, Tom's. The list is endless. So I know a thing or two about in terms of paid ads, social media, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, being in the agency and of transitioning to an agency owner, like it's a no-brainer, because the fact is, as an agency owner, you can literally make so much money. And once you get it all systemized, it just prints money. And like, I'm saying this because I've been there. And literally I've had offers where, like a lot of people send this call. When I started my agency, I was trying to offer everything. I was offering Facebook ads, email marketing, Google ads, the full works. And I thought, you know what? Why would I do this? I knew TikTok before, like about 18 months ago. I was slow because it wasn't really a trend. It wasn't really popping off then. But since I've jumped on it, I kind of got rid of all the other stuff. Still do Facebook ads to a degree, but like in terms of Google ads, email, we've kind of stripped that. If we need someone to do that, we obviously hire that to someone else and just focusing on the sole offer. So guys, if you're listening to this now, I'm telling you, if you just buckle down, you've seen in terms of what Chris is giving you in terms of the outreach and stuff, you've seen the sales improvement, like you can easily make money on that. So without further ado, UGC. So if you don't know what user-generated content is, obviously we touched on it a bit, but it's basically what kind of makes it all run, okay? Because TikTok ads basically don't work without content. That's as simple as that, because what people have tried to do in the past, and they're kind of moving away from that a little bit more now, but they try to basically recreate or reuse what they were kind of running on Facebook and try and just literally put it onto the platform on TikTok. And the fact is, it doesn't work like that, because the content on TikTok is completely different. Users are understanding in terms of like ads in general. People don't want to see ads. So you need to make that content more real to the platforms, because again, people's attention spans are so short on the platform right now. So people are scrolling, you want to catch their eye, it not look like an ad, and get them to obviously go from ad to landing page to convert, as simple as that. So realistically, and the reason why I say it is that user-generated content, it is literally the biggest cheat code right now for TikTok, because there's so many brands out there. And I know a lot of this call, a lot of people spoke about e-com, but if you just tweak and think a little bit different, like Serge mentioned, there's so many different industries out there that you need to focus on. Like if I was you personally, I would not touch e-com right now. Like I'm trying to get away from e-com because it's so crowded. And I was speaking to someone the other day, and some of the niches that I see people that are going into, they can clean up so easily right now, whether it's like restaurants, whether it's like hotels, whether it's like a dumpster truck, like whatever you want to go into. There's so many opportunities right now. These people don't know. I was speaking to a brand a few days ago. They're basically in the they basically do like what's the word, decor for properties that are going on the market. So like all that kind of stuff. Getting them on board, like, because they don't understand how it works. They don't want to put that work in. So you've got a great opportunity right now. Jump on the platform, get these people in, because like I say, it's easy to sell them, and then obviously get them moving with that. So that's why it's the biggest cheat code right now. And I want to show you, this is why I always show when I'm on these calls. Basically, I'm going to show you exactly brands that are still not actually on the platform. Like, I always use this example because one day I will eventually hopefully close these as a client. So Aura Ring, if you guys have heard of them, they basically track your sleep and stuff. I have a Whoop, but it's like kind of similar. Aura Ring, these must do, I think, like 8-9 figures a year. And look, their content, they have nothing on TikTok right now. This is how early you all are on the platform. If a big brand like this, blue tick and everything, are not posting anything right now, just imagine how easy it is for you to go and reach out to brands like this and say, look, your presence is not on the platform, okay? You need to be on here because the reach is there. You can obviously get so much more traffic. It's an easy sell. The offer sells itself, but as long as you make the offer more realistic, which I'm going to touch on shortly, that's how you start to make this work for you. So I always like to show that as an example because there's brands that are still not doing that. So the juiciness. So what the best way to kind of charge is, and this is what we kind of do. So I'm literally laying everything all out for you guys here. So you want to be charging the client 2 to 2.5K for about 10 pieces of content. And the reason why you want to do this, which you can see underneath, you want to be charging in bulk. You don't want to be offering like 1 piece of content, 2 pieces of content, because the amount of work and effort that goes into doing 1 or 2 pieces is the same as doing 10 pieces. So you want to be obviously offering as much content as possible. And the reason for that is as well, especially for the ads perspective, if their client is just starting on the platform, they're going to need them ads because they're going to need data. They're going to need to see what works. They need to obviously have different audience they want to test, stuff like that. So you need to be offering this 10 piece of content to begin with. And like some of the guys said earlier, the reason why this works so well is if you go after the bigger clients who understand, they know that basically they need to be spending on the platform. They're obviously doing about like 6 figures, whether it's like 100K a month on the platform, in revenue in general. So they know in terms that they need to spend because, and again, when you're selling as well, this is one thing I always say to clients if they're kind of a bit on the edge. I'll say, well, look, if you were trying to do like a TV ad still today or like 5 years ago, a TV ad production costs about 30K, okay? For a TV ad that you can't really track, you can't really see if it works, yet you're going to complain about spending $200 on a piece of content that's going to probably get you a return on investment and more, okay? So this we've got to kind of put into their mind in terms of like realistically, some might say, oh, because they're still behind to a degree in terms of thinking, oh, well, I could used to use Facebook content where I could literally get a picture, take a picture myself or put some text over and it works. That's completely gone. So it's all about reframing, retraining your actual prospects, your clients to actually start to understand, because I guarantee you now, in about 18 months time, everyone's going to understand how it kind of works. So it's going to become harder to actually sell. So if you can start to educate clients and prospects now, that's what makes it a lot easier, okay? So if you're selling, let's just say a piece of content for $200 each, of like 2K, you want to be looking to kind of be paying content creators anywhere from like $50 to $100. $100 is definitely on the high end, but that's going to be for more like premium kind of content creators. We have a few that would pay that kind of price, but they do like seriously good work. So, and it depends on the niche as well. So one thing I always say is you want to make sure that the content creator you're working with is accustomed to obviously knowing how that kind of that niche works. So say if you've got a skincare brand, you want someone who's obviously had previous experience with skincare or something similar. Because what sometimes, and what I've seen people do in the past, is they've worked with a content creator who've said that they've done other work, and then it's come to it, and realistically, it's just not been good. Because just like us here, in terms of like, I know TikTok inside out, obviously everyone else who in terms of have their own niche, it's the same with content creators. You don't want to be focused on content creators to say, yeah, I can do content in like 10 different niches. You want to be finding the best content creators out there. So if someone's literally focused on skincare and you've got a skincare client, pay a little bit more for them, because you know they understand that niche, they understand that market. And realistically, if they're comfortable on camera, if they're comfortable about speaking about products, saying keywords that obviously like you already know if you've obviously done that product or used that product before, then that's going to help you to convert more. So don't be stingy. Like I say, $50. Some people try cheaper because they don't run their platforms out there, which you probably know, or some you might have heard of, like Billo and stuff like that, where you can pay really low prices. But realistically, the content on there is shit, basically, because It's just literally people going on the content, they're reading the script, and it's so robotic. And imagine, like I said to you before, it's like, again, the content is not right for the platform because it's so robotic, it doesn't work. People don't like it, okay? And that's how we also get so many clients, because when I speak to people at UGC, they're like, oh yeah, we use Billo, we use a third party app. I'm like, oh, how did it go? 9 times out of 10, it was rubbish, okay? So I always know that's going to be the case because they're not picking the right people for the right niche and stuff like that. So with that being said, the breakdown. So if you're charging, let's just say on the low end, 2K for your package, okay? And then you're charging for your content creators, $50 a piece, just on average, you're making $1,500 profit, okay? Profit, we're talking. So you're not paying, the thing is with UGC, the outgoings are so little. Obviously, yeah, you might need to pay for your Slack and stuff like that, but if you're gonna do anything now, obviously TikTok ads, you need to understand it to a degree. Obviously working, like if you're a consultant, stuff like, you need to understand that. But anyone today, right now after this call, can jump up here and literally pull their phone out, go on Instagram and outreach to just start 10 brands, okay? And you get some, once you go through the course in terms of obviously like you understand how it all works, because it's the selling part's easy, okay? Being able to just, that it's a numbers game, I will say, like, and again, I'm a big fan of Alex Mo as well. He always says the person who does the most reps wins. So that comes to when it's outreach. If you're outreaching so much, you're going to get people who are going to jump and bite at this offer, okay? So all you need to do, and again, depending on your goals, but again, I always have to work backwards. If you were making 15K profit per month, you only need to sell 10 packages a month, okay? And you don't need to sell in packages because obviously you'll have recurring clients who will obviously need packages for the next month. Some clients might need multiple in 1 month, stuff like that. That's how simple it is, guys. For example, like I've got 2 deals tomorrow that I'm closing, and they're both referrals, from 2 of agent owners. One's got 4 brands who are ready to sign up, one's got 2, okay? So I'm gonna make about 9K tomorrow just from this offer, right? We still run TikTok ads on our agency, but realistically, I can sit back because I don't even do this stuff now. I have my one going to touch on shortly. My brother, he basically runs the operations in the actual agency now. So, but tomorrow I'm gonna jump on that call, make 9K, happy days. End September, in July, really well, guys. Okay, so you can do it. So when it comes to obviously the selling, you can do all that part, work with the content creators. So you want to build a relationship with the content creators. This is key, okay? Just like if you want to treat them as a team member, because that's how important it will be, okay? And what I do and what we say, you want to have 5 to 10 creators on speed dial. Right now, we've got about 350 content creators that not just that we've got on our database, but we've actually reached out to, vetted them, jumped on a call with them, made sure they're useful. We're not worked with all of them, don't get me wrong, but we have 350 people that's on our database in different countries, stuff like that. But we have 10 people who I know I can literally go to if a client comes tomorrow and say, oh, we need stuff straight away. You want to have them in mind. So 5 to 10 content creators that you can literally just say, look, can you get creative done, boom, job done, okay? And the next thing, this is golden as well, because this is what a lot of people don't do. You want to lock in agreements with the creators. And the reason I tell you this, because everyone right now is trying to make money on TikTok and the creators are no different, okay? So realistically, what you'll start to see is you work with a creator maybe this month, okay? And you're paying them $50 per creative. Then you go to work with them, let's say 4 weeks later, they then up their price to $75, okay? It may be a little high, but realistically, that's profit from your back because you're still charging the client the same, but their costs have changed, okay? So this is something key to do. You want to basically lock in, and what we do right now is either 3 months or 6 months saying, look, when we work with you, this price stays as it is basically, okay? Because if then prices start to creep up, and maybe that client's worked with that, we've used that client for something else before, we obviously want to use them again because they've got good results. But if their price goes up, that eats into our margin. So obviously we can do it if we need to, but at the end of the day, guys, we're all here to literally make money, right? So we want to keep our margins fixable. So we need to keep them static. We need to know what they look like. So I say lock in agreements with the creators. And then from then onwards, I advise you basically send that NDA, okay, to the content creator. So just covers the terms of the agreement, obviously the fee comes to the client, because again, this didn't happen to me, it happened to a friend of mine. Basically, they were working with a content creator, and then the content creator went behind their back and started working with their client on like a cheaper rate. Okay, you don't want that stuff to happen. Like it can happen, but you want to kind of just litigate all that kind of stuff happening. So have an agreement in place saying, look, if you're working through us, you can't reach out to any of these clients again within a 6 to 12 month period, something along the lines of that. This stuff just basically just keeps everything running smooth, less headaches, because I'm all about less headaches, making more money. That's the best way for it, guys, okay? Pay creators on time. You might create it, come to us, and say, oh, I've been messed around, I've not been paid, and trying to ask for X amount for this and that. Make sure you're not one of them people. Make sure you're paying your creators on time. As soon as they've delivered the work, boom, get the payment out to them, okay? Because that all comes from the communication. You treat them as member of staff, you want to pay them on time. And then with that, communication is key. So again, having a brief in terms of from what the client gives you brief-wise, and then giving that creator, because what people do, again, they say, oh yeah, here's the client, they're going to send you some products, create some stuff. Don't do that. You still want to be accountable in terms of what the content they put together, because realistically, again, obviously when you start to build on TikTok, you start to know what works, what doesn't work. So you need to start to build out briefs and saying, okay, we've seen this ad here, can you replicate something like along the lines of this, okay? So when you start to do that, you've got a brief, you've got something concrete, you can actually pass over to the content creator, and they start to build out for you, okay? Simple as that. This next point, now this is advanced mode we're talking, okay? I'm giving you this for free, guys, as well. Create a Slack channel for your creators, okay? And the reason why this works so well right now is because two things. It's community. You guys on this call right now, you've got obviously like Facebook groups, stuff like that. But when people are part of a community, guess what? They start to talk, they start to share ideas, they start to help one another. So we literally started to roll this out. We start to create a Slack channel with all our content creators in. And then what happened is when we get like a brief come through, we literally send a snippet. Say if we've got a brand, we'll say skincare brand needing X amount, who's available. They'll message us and then we start the content there, okay? But because you have that community, what we're going to start doing is we're going to start doing some training sessions for them. We're going to start helping them out to start to just up their level, because if we up their level, yes, they might use that for other client stuff. That's fine. I'm all about giving. I'm not bothered about that. But I know when we start to work, when they work with us, we're going to get high level creative, okay? We're not getting that below standards. We're getting that high level of creative, okay? So that's what you kind of want to be doing. Build out community, help them. And again, it starts to build out your brand presence, builds out your expertise as well, because you start to show the content creators what needs to be done and just helping them as well, okay? So it's a win-win scenario. So last 2 points, guys. Selling it to the client. So like I said, the game is changing in terms of how marketing was conducted 12 months ago. It's redundant, okay? UGC is the way forward, short form content, all that kind of stuff, okay? So you need to make it super clear to clients that for TikTok ads to run, 80% of it is heavy lifting, okay? Like, I'll be honest with you, like I say, we run TikTok ads, but we literally don't focus on audience. We literally focus on make sure their offer's good, their landing page is good, their content is good, okay? We can spend on some clients, we spend 5K a day and we literally just run to a broad audience, okay? Because if the content's that good, TikTok algorithm will do all of that heavy lifting for you, okay, guys? So that's why you need to basically be selling them why content creators is good, why the content has got to be good, okay? And at scale, once you start to work with these bigger brands, if they start to spend like 50K, the kind of rule of thumb is you want to say to them, look, you're spending 50K, you want to allocate about 10 to 15% of your budget on content, okay? So if they're spending 50K a month, they need to have about 5K for content, okay? Because once again, if you start to plant that seed early on for them, once they start to then scale, they already know, okay, we can't take 10 pieces of content a month, we need to take 20 pieces of content a month, okay? So it's again, just planting that seed, and that's how you start to scale on the platform if you're running the ads as well as UGC as well, guys, okay? And then because so many people are getting involved with TikTok right now, it's an offer that's like happening all the time. You want to be smart with how you package it up. So yes, it's TikTok, but it's all about how you offer it, okay? I just literally wrote this quickly, but like, for example, 10 pieces of content for the price of 9. It's something different, okay? It's something that you're offering them that they might go, oh, okay, I'm interested in that, okay? Or something you want to kind of go completely off the rail. If I can't just give you a minimum 100% ROI, you don't pay, okay? This will just be your kind of outreach to get them to buy it. Because realistically, if you then look at their website, their conversion rate's below a certain percentage, or they're not making X amount, then you say, look, well, we can't offer you this guarantee, but we'll still work for you to, you're getting your foot in the door, okay, with this kind of offer. Because people see that, oh, well, there's no risk to me. Jump on a call with them, you sell to them, okay? That's how you kind of do it from there onwards, okay? It's all making sense, guys, before I go into the last bit. So, how to supercharge it all. This is the best part for it. This basically when you kind of got it all running smoothly, you got SOPs in places, content creators, all good, okay? Bring on a creative director, someone that literally manages the whole process for you, okay? And you can pay them anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 to begin with, because a lot of people right now, they're not quote unquote a creative director. So you want to test them. You want to test them on a low fee just to begin with, okay? Once you start to get good, you can obviously offer incentives, bonuses, up that fee. Once you start to get a lot more clients on board, pay them well. I would say pay your team well, okay? Train them up, and hopefully because you've been doing it long enough, you've built out SOPs for yourself and how it all works, stuff like that, train them up, okay? They now become an extension of your operations. And you literally can just catch up with them once a week, and everything's going to run fine for you because they're doing the heavy lifting for you now. They're having the comms with the client, they're having the comms with the content creators, they're dealing with all that for you. And you're making profit like from literally, I don't like to say this, but you've done all that heavy lifting, and now you're literally doing that much work, but still getting paid that amount. Okay. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that all makes sense. If you want to reach out, ask any questions, hit me up on Twitter, Ashley_Wright, TikTok, wherever, all the platforms I'm about. So always more than happy to help you guys.
All right. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you for this presentation. It was amazing. All right, cool. So I'm about to go into a section of this presentation where I'm about to essentially to be honest, I'm about to pitch hard. Okay. And I'm about to just walk you guys through our solution. Okay. You guys may find it helpful. You guys may not, but I'm gonna still do it. Okay. But before I get into this presentation, all I just need from you guys is if you have any questions, put them in the chat below. We're going to have a Q&A session after this part, and then we're going to answer every question that you have. We're going to have around 15 minutes to do it. So, make sure you post your questions fast, or else we might have we might not have enough time to answer them. Okay. So who here is the first time that who here doesn't know what we do? In the chat. Can someone put in the chat if they first time like hearing of client acquisition.io and us and me as a person? Pavel, okay, cool. All right, cool. So we have some, I guess, a few people are new, but most of you guys probably have, okay, Emmanuel too, first time. Beautiful. All right, cool. Well, let's get into it. 1 second. All right. So this part of the presentation, I'm about to go over what we actually do to help our customers, get started and scaling past 50K per month in 6 months or less. Okay, so we have customers who are starting out from scratch, so they're just starting completely new. But we also have customers who come to us and they're already at 20K, 30K a month. Okay, and we just help them add an extra 50K to 100K a month. Okay, now what do we do? It's pretty simple. Our goal is, the way that I've structured this service is I've looked at, hey, what are the things that could keep my customers from not winning, right? The first thing that could keep someone from not winning is not having the right offer. Okay. So in this presentation, I did give you a few offers that are working really well, but when you become a customer, we actually perfect everything. We create a new offer, or if you're coming in and you have an offer that you want to launch, well, we look at it and we improve it. Okay. Once we've looked at your offer, another thing that could keep you from not getting customers is not knowing how to actually communicate your value and the content structure that you need to follow to actually communicate this value at scale. Okay. We solve for the sales argument issue and the content structure. Okay. If you're not putting out content, guys, you are not going to have an easy time making money. It's just that easy. Just like content, just like these brands, these B2B companies are going to be paying you to help them with content. Guess what? You also need the content yourself, right? Once we're done with the communicating value and the offer, then we go on to building your outbound assets campaign. So we launch outreach, as you guys saw. Chris is technically using all these channels, right? So in the service, we launch Instagram outreach up to like 150 DMs per day, Facebook up to 150 DMs per day. Emails, we're going to be launching up to 625 emails per day, right? So if you combine all these channels, to be honest, like you can easily be doing 1,000 DMs a day, right? Or 1,000 outreach. And if you want to launch Twitter, LinkedIn, that also is included, right? So we set up all the assets that is needed for these campaigns. And then once it's ready to launch, then, well, it's not while it's done, we actually do it as we're, at the same time, but we have a community of around 1,000. Right now we have 2,000 appointment setters, right? So when a new customer joins the community, we'll look at our community, we'll train someone, and then support them, support you into growing your own appointment setting team, right? $3 an hour appointment setters. or if you want to go the growth, team with other agencies, then we'll show you how to, go that route. Okay. So we hire and train the actual team that would implement and manage this outreach. Okay. So you technically don't have to do anything. Provide you with a sales script used to close over 7 figures in TikTok offers. And if you want the consulting script, then, we've also done over 7 figures in that. So you're going to get access to that. So you don't have any excuse around not being able to sell. Okay. And then once we're done, we pair you up with a white label partner who is ready to fulfill for your new clients or consult you and provide you with the hiring systems to building your own backend. Okay. By working with us, you literally get everything that is required to scale an agency past 50K to 100K per month in less than 6 months. From the offer, how to communicate the value, to your outbound campaign on multiple platforms, on multiple acquisition channels. We hired the team that actually does outreach for you, provide you with a sales process, and ready when you need help with fulfillment. Okay. Now, most people will fail with launching this TikTok offer because, one, they don't have the right offer and don't know what the market actually wants. Okay. They don't know how to communicate the value and break down why X niche needs the service, right? Some people will just sell utility when you should actually be selling status. They don't know how to book 5 to 10 meetings per day, right? I don't care if you have a good offer, you still need an acquisition infrastructure. Like, I know a lot of people who have amazing offers. I know people who actually have launched TikTok since I've started pushing it on YouTube, but who are still till this day have not made any money, right? Why? Because they don't know how to book meetings, right? So your calendars are empty even when you have a good service, right? They don't have a highly trained team of appointment setters to consistently generate, to consistently do the volume that is required to generate these meetings, 500 to 1,000 outreach per day. They don't have the right sales script, the right sales process to close deals that, are around $5,000 to $10,000 or more. They lose all their clients after signing them because fulfillment is broken and they didn't expect it to be as hard as it is, right? One thing's for sure, if you guys are not in an environment of people who are actually have built amazing structures, let's say you don't have the backend system like we have that we've built for Chris and a few other customers, or have, a whole bunch of white label partners ready to help you and consult you, you will not be able to fulfill on this offer. And guess what? If you can't fulfill on this offer, I don't care if you can make $20,000, $30,000 in a month, you will lose it back the following month. Okay. If you want to avoid all these mistakes and avoid wasting time, you owe it to yourself to technically literally sign up for our done for you $500,000 systems implementation program, right? Now, the thing is, can everybody afford to work with us? 100% not, right? But if you can make sense of affording it, then you will have a team of professionals who have scaled countless agencies past 10, 20, 30, $50,000 a month, come into your business and build everything for you, right? We're literally holding people's hands into scaling their businesses, right? And we've done it countless times. So you kind of like remove luck from the equation, right? Now, for those who know, the cost to actually work with us is $15,000. And, and to be honest, for 15 grand, it's still a no-brainer to literally, if you have to sell your car, right? I've had people tell me that they're about to sell their car to figure out a way to get money. If you have a Rolex, but you don't have a 50, 100K a month business, what are you doing? Sell that watch right now. If you have a home, go at your bank, okay? Take a home equity line of credit and put that thing, just ask me for an invoice, literally, right? And I'm saying this because I have 15-year-olds in the program making like $10,000 a month, right? So when I see that happening and I see people afraid to invest money because they're so stuck up with, with the risk, I'm like, are you serious? Do you know how risky it is to not have a cash flowing business in 2022? I can't emphasize this enough, but not having, if you consider yourself an entrepreneur, if you want a certain lifestyle and you're not doing everything you can to actually push this business and these offers that I'm sharing with you guys, you're making the wrong decision. Okay. Now let's look at the cost of not having a 50K a month business, right? So most people see the cost of what see the cost of jumping into a service or a solution, right? But what you don't see is the cost of not actually having the lifestyle and the business that you actually want, okay? Every month that you don't generate $50,000, you're losing 50 grand every single month, right? For me, if I wasn't running the business that I'm running right now, I'd be losing $150,000 every single month, right? So in your case, whether, I don't know what your situation is, right? But if you're not cashing in 50K profit every month, well, you're losing 600 grand a year of profits that you could have leveraged to do whatever you want, right? Now, let's discuss the cost of services rendered in our program, right? If you were to buy them as standalone services, because I know a lot of people out there go outside and buy from other service providers, which is totally fine. But you have to understand that at the end of the day, we solve everything for you in one single product, right? So you receive the winning offer. To be honest, it's priceless, but let's say it would cost you 5 to 10K to get a consultant to help you find a product market fit or service market fit. Getting a marketer and copywriter to craft your sales argument and content creation, distribution process, let's say another 5 grand. Building and launching an outbound outreach campaign on 2 to 4 channels and help you book 5 to 10 meetings. I would probably say 7 grand over, let's say, 3 months if you want to break it up. Building your own growth team made of highly trained appointment setters. This is like, it would easily be 10 grand. Right now, we're selling growth team builds for 25 grand because, a growth team is currently generating me over, almost multiple 6 figures a month, 300 meetings. So for 20 grand, it's pretty worth it. Building the right sales process and sales script, that can easily be a 5 to 10K package. Consulting on fulfillment and white label, this is easily 10 to 20K package. 6 support calls per week. We're about to go to 7. To be honest, I could easily charge 10 grand a month. Okay. Now, if you were to add all this stuff up and add it up, if you were to buy everything, and I know some people on this call right now who have spent this kind of money and more to scale their business, and they still have not been able to scale, right? Why? Because most people selling one thing are just in it for their own benefit, right? They're just focused on scaling, because the fact is, with our service, with us solving all this thing, it's going to be hard for us to scale, but we'd rather deliver amazing results to our customers and maybe not be able to make 100 million a year or maybe $1 million a month like this year, because we know that if we're able to fulfill and deliver results for every customer that jumps in and support them until they see success, we're going to make it unreasonable for us not to have customers in 2030, right? Because I'd rather not scam anyone, just give them, I'll just give you, here's a TikTok offer, go figure out everything yourself. I'd rather help you with your communication, help you with your outreach team, help you with your outreach campaign, troubleshoot it every week, make sure your setters are doing fine, make sure your fulfillment is dialed in, make sure 6 calls a week we're available to support you. And maybe I can only support 100 customers, 300 customers a year, but at least for those customers, they have no excuse to not win. Now, does it mean that everyone will succeed with everything we do? No, because I can't. At the end of the day, I can tell you everything. I can tell you everything that I'm doing, help you do it every day, but you're still not going to succeed. Maybe because you're not following the script. A lot of people don't follow the script even when they're given the right script. Okay, so, and the fact is, even if you had to pay 50 grand to 75 grand to access a 50K to 100K a month business, it would still be an amazing investment, because in less than 2 months, you would literally have recouped your investment, right? So this price, even though it's a lot of money, it's still pretty worth it. I know people selling $50,000 masterminds, and they are literally delivering stuff like, post twice on Facebook groups, or anyway, we're not going to go there. I'd rather not get there. But anyway, to work with us, you only have to pay 15K, and we support you for the next 6 to 12 months, giving you access to our community of sharks winners. And where the only loss allowed is losing sleep over how big your tax bill will be next year. Okay. This is the only loss we're seeing around here. Okay. Now, what other solutions can you try in order to achieve the same growth for your online business, right? So in order to add an extra 50K to 100K a month, you can try a few things. You can try advertising, right? average cost to book, let's say if you were to try Facebook ad, you would probably be paying $200 to $500 per call, right? And the thing is, you're not guaranteed to receive qualified sales calls either. So you can spend up to $5K a month for 3 months, or $5K a month for 3 months, and only get 2 qualified leads who are willing to buy, but it costs you 15 grand, right? And then the issue is these clients aren't guaranteed to stay since your fulfillment isn't dialed in. So the lifetime value can be less than $6,000. So yes, you spend a whole bunch of money on ads. Yes, you got those 2 clients, but you lost them after the first month. So you're losing around 1.5K per client that you signed on your business. So you're actually losing money, even when you do sign customers. I know this happens a lot with so many people, right? But guess what? Since fulfillment is solved, you don't have to deal with any of this stuff or spend this kind of money on ads, right? The other thing you can try, other services out there, is hiring an appointment setting agency where they charge 2 to 2.5K a month and the minimum commitment of 3 months, right? So let's say you end up investing 6 to 7.5K. The same thing happens. They will promise you 20 or 40 meetings per month, but it will only be able to deliver, let's say 10 to 20 meetings, since they only focus on one channel, right? They won't consult you on closing these deals or build a thorough sales process to make sure these leads are ready to buy. So your closing rate will be, 10 to 15%, right? But, let's say you close these, 1 client, 2 clients, right? Same issue will occur with fulfillment. You may sign 2 to 5 clients from their appointments, but won't be able to retain any of the customers since you don't have access to white label partners or 20 or 50 agencies in one single community who can share with you the right systems and processes to make your service delivery as good as it can be, right? You can also partner with someone who's already good at client acquisition, right? Or who's already good at fulfillment, okay? But guess what? It will cost you 50% of the business, right? But once you start scaling, there's always an issue when people who pair up with, who partner with other people to start agencies. I personally think starting an agency and partnering up with someone is literally the worst thing that you can do, right? Because an agency is not meant to have 2 leaders in a company, right? Anyway, that's a story for another time. But once you start scaling, you realize that it takes way too much work to grow and sustain this business if you're only going to be making 50% of the profits, right? So the partnership will end badly and you will be back where you started, square one. Okay. Or this is also another thing. You can go ahead and buy $1,000, $2,000 course or program out there, right? The issue with courses and cheap programs is that don't have done for you as their main mechanism is that the information received is also going to be received by 1,000 to 3,000 other students, which makes the information, the tactics, the strategies useless, right? Do you know how many people were sold on this Facebook ad agency offer? And that's why for me personally, I wouldn't even try to sell a TikTok course because it would literally be messing up the whole market. Because one thing is for sure, right? And I wrote it here. The truth is that the more people who are selling these offers that I just showed you, who are using the same acquisition channels and the same workflows, the less this thing will perform over time, right? So I'm not sure if I haven't mentioned it, but if you're on this webinar, okay, there's something called urgency. I'm not even trying to create urgency from me trying to sell you guys, but I don't care if you sign up with us. I don't care if you do anything, but I promise you, you have around 3 to 6 months to scale. 3 to 6 months from now, I promise you, TikTok will be as bad as Facebook. I'm not saying it won't be a good service to sell, but it will be a lot harder to actually make money from it. Okay. So everyone here, you have a timeline by 2023. If you're not already making 50 grand a month, I promise you, it's going to be hard for you to win again. So I want you guys to take this really seriously and actually have pressure, put pressure on yourself to actually perform as an entrepreneur, wake up every day, get to it. Okay. There's no time to lose, to like, oh, I'll do outreach next week. Oh, I'll wait until I have a credit card and I have a budget. Oh, I'll go to my job and I'll save up money. Oh, I'll do outreach myself until I have enough money to hire someone. Are you serious? I swear to God, when people tell me that, I'm like, are you telling me that you have an opportunity right now to build a $500,000 to $1 million or more business, okay? But you would rather stay in your current situation for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, because you don't have capital, because you don't have, you're afraid to quit your job. If you're okay with being where you're at right now, that's totally fine. You can do that, but then don't be online trying to portray an image that you're actually about this game, about this life. Because anyone who's winning in business, guys, like, please respect them, because these are people who have dedicated their life, the most important thing that can be given to us, which is time. And this life, we only get once in a life. Like, I can only make these webinars so many times, right? But I can probably make a whole bunch of money, right? I'd rather give away money than do these webinars more, because I can't have these 2 hours that I just spent with you guys back, right? And that's why I work so hard. So I never have to give anyone 2 hours of my life. I can make enough money so that I can pay anyone to sell for me. I can pay anyone to do the work for me, right? I don't have to do anything that I don't want to do, okay? But anyway, coming back to this point is that I'm literally serious that, like, you guys need to get in ASAP, right? I'm not saying program, I'm just saying get in the game ASAP, okay? Now, that's the universal truth, talking about the fact that, this offer will perform less over time. Now, the benefit of our program being expensive is that not everyone gets in, right? Which means that our customers end up with better insights, better and more thorough client acquisition infrastructures, and fulfillment support, which is why it's totally normal to see clients add an extra 20K in revenue every month, right? As an example, Lashazar from my latest interview, he actually, this was pretty impressive too. He, started up, when he started in the program, it was around 6 to 7K a month before he joined the program in March. He was stuck selling Facebook advertising and had been able to scale to 8.6K per month in January of 2022, but ended up losing a client afterward. And he was relying on cold emails to generate most of his meetings, but was struggling to generate meetings consistently, okay? Now, once he joined the program, we got him to introduce TikTok, this TikTok offer. And this month, he's actually going to be ending revenue at $50,000 in monthly recurring revenue with crazy, ridiculous profit margins, okay? In the last 25 days, he has added an additional $18,000 to his monthly recurring revenue, right? Yeah, we helped him launch social outreach, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and emails, which are generating like 5 to 10 interested leads every single day, right? He went from no interest with Facebook to like 5 to 10 warm leads every single day, right? So yeah, so what do you get from joining our, our service? You get TikTok, done for you TikTok offer creation, done for you outreach campaign creation. We're going to create the messaging. We're going to help you pick the channels. We're going to help you optimize your Instagram, your Facebook accounts, all that good stuff. Okay. Everything that needs to be done is going to be done almost like for you. The only thing we can do for you is the stuff that we can't do for you. Done for you outreach, team training, shadowing sessions. Okay. I'm not sure if you guys know, or anyone has ever paid to get like an appointment setter, but the way that people train appointment setter nowadays is they maybe create a course and they get them to go through the course. And then once they're knowledgeable, then they put them in your company. For us, we don't do that. Okay. Reg, how many training sessions do we have with VAs every week?
Twice a week.
Okay, cool. So twice a week, we'll have training sessions with the VAs before they even get trained, paired up in a company, while they're in our community, waiting to get a role. There'll be we have built a course on outreach, but twice a week, we also train them. Okay. When you become a customer, we'll actually assign, we'll not even get you to select, because we've realized that selecting people, it adds friction and it delays the process. So we'll actually pick the appointment setters that we feel are great. Then we'll optimize them, like we'll train them on the actual outreach channels that we want you to be using. Okay. But once we've actually onboarded them into your company, we will spend 3 to 6 hours shadowing them while they do the work. What does that mean? That means that, let's say they start outreach on Monday on Instagram. one of our outreach specialists will jump on a Zoom call with them and they'll start doing outreach, and then we'll look at what they're doing, okay, for 3 hours. Now, after that, they'll also, or before that, they'll actually spend another 3 hours looking at our own outreach specialist, managing other campaigns, doing the work. So the amount of feedback loop and that has happened, because they spend hours on Zoom learning how it's done, but actually seeing it getting done and then being kept accountable while they're doing it, makes it so that like these appointment setters end up being really good, even though you're paying them like $3 an hour. Okay. You also get access to one clarity session with me, over 50 hours of content from everything I've learned from making my first $1 million in a year, after 2 years after quitting my 30K 9 to 5. 6 support calls per week. One of them is TikTok consulting calls, outreach consulting calls, general Q&A with me, 7-figure sales training with Hassan and Tommy. Hassan didn't present the sales training today, but when you join the program, he's the one who's going to be covering it. Campaign review, right? We review all your outreach campaigns for you. Okay. We also review your sales calls for you, right? And then progress review calls every other week. Okay. When you join the program, we have something called it's like a daily progress checkup, where every single day for the first 15 days, you get a message from Hassan asking you, hey, what did you get done today? What do you need help with today? Okay. Every single day. Okay. After that first 2 weeks, then we'll be doing it every 2 days for 30 days. And then after that, in the second month to the third month, we'll actually be doing it every other day. And then up until the 9th year, the first 3 months. Okay. So we're checking up on you every single day for the first 3 months of being on the program. And then you join 300 high ticket entrepreneurs. So this is probably also an amazing benefit, is you get to join people who've actually spent a lot of money to actually be there. It's not like people have just put $1,000 in a credit card and are in a Facebook group with you asking stupid questions. It's like actual people who've, some people like literally like they'll invest their last penny, right? And to be honest, I'd rather have a community of people who are ready to go all in on something that they want, versus people who've who are like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like if you invest 10 grand, 15 grand to get a service, trust me, there is no getting out. Like you need to work, you need to make that money back, right? So the commitment goes through the roof, right? And then it lasts 6 to 12 months of support. So we won't give up on you unless you give up on yourself. So for 6 to 12 months, you're in the community and we're just getting after it. Okay. So Chris started in the program 2.5K. Now he's at 20K a month. I think Chris, you had launched the agency, the TikTok offer, even before joining the program, right?
Yeah, it was a mixture. Like before I joined the program, right? I had an idea of it, just didn't have the blueprint. And then from there, like just acquisition, we just ramped up acquisition, man.
Yeah. So he joined, wasn't really pushing TikTok hard, but I remember that you were definitely talking about it. And then, but lacked the client acquisition infrastructure needed to generate meetings, as well as the sales training needed to close brands, right? Wouldn't you say that sales was also another thing?
Yeah, like from sales, like I remember I could have closed 3 clients that were doing above 500K. I had three of those calls, worked with Hassan. Hassan was like, dude, you could have easily closed those, just fix these points. And then now, like literally I had 3 calls with 7-figure brands like this month, close all of them. 100% closing rate.
Yeah, great job, man. Great job. And then, so, I would say that for Chris, it's been mostly, helping him improve his TikTok offer, build a growth team, scale to 5 meetings booked per day, leveraging audiences on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and he also ended up launching email, which has been going crazy, right? We also have Alex Pivinsky. He went through, I guess, a few courses. I think he went through Iman's, Kaibak's, all the other courses out there. But I know that he spent 5 months following up with me every other month, trying to be like, hey, Serge, can I get in? Can I get a discount? Blah, 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 blah. And then, at some point I was like, hey man, you're doing 3 to 5K a month. You have nothing to lose. You are at the bottom. Even if you gave me your last money, even if you went broke right now, even if you went in debt, it won't be as bad as life is right now. Because I promise you guys, like for me, if I went to making 5 to 10K a month, I don't even think I would get out. I don't even think I would be allowed to get outside my house. Because everything, I swear to God, I go to Miami, first night, I spend like 3 grand. I'm like, how? How does that even work? I go to New York, I have to get my customers to dinner. Guess what? Reservation $1,000. I'm like, God damn. So it's like, how are you gonna live at 5K a month, even 10K a month, right? Reg does expenses report every single week. I'm spending like 20 grand a week. I'm like, Hassan, I need sales. I need sales right now, right? So to be honest, guys, one thing that I can tell you guys is maybe let me allow you to make bad. I mean, I'm not saying go spend money on stupid shit, but and it's not even related to our program. But if you're currently making 5 to 10K a month, please get this from me. You are allowed to invest all the money you can in yourself. Go broke, go in debt, take the money, the bank's money, go invest in yourself, guys. I promise you, you can never lose if you invest in yourself. If I knew what I knew now today, and you brought me back to 2018 when I left school, I would have spent so much money on education and on services, because to be honest, there weren't as many services as ours, but I would have probably bought more courses, right? And I would have been making 100 grand, 150 grand a month in 2018. And now I wouldn't be having to do webinars, right? I'll probably be somewhere in Spain drinking some wine, right? But anyway, before joining the program, Alex had previously spent all his capital on buying courses after courses, but never could really solve his main problem, which was appointment setting. He was pushing Facebook ad as a service and relying heavily on email outreach to book meetings. After joining the program, once we launched this new TikTok offer mechanism, Alex launched his TikTok service. And we helped him launch Instagram outreach as well as Facebook outreach, leveraging free and paid audiences. With these two acquisition channels, I think he's closing like 3 new clients per month. But he had to slow down acquisition in order to build a more thorough fulfillment infrastructure to sustain the growth. To be honest, I would never slow down acquisition. I'll actually tell it to him like right after today, after I have this thing. But you never stop acquisition, never. Even if your fulfillment is shitty, you keep selling customers, okay? Now, what I want to do for the 87 people who are still on this call is I want to do something pretty special, okay? For the first 3 people who want to join, okay? To be honest, we probably can't even onboard that many people, but for the first 3 people who want to join or who are interested, okay? I want to do something, right? I want to add in these bonuses. If you sign up today, okay, or show interest in signing up today, for the first 3 people to sign up, you'll get email done for your service, 90 days for free. All you have to pay is just pay for it like instantly, right? But we will take care of the lead sourcing. We'll take care of managing your outreach. We'll take care of everything. All you need to do is wait for us to get you the interested leads every single day, which you should be getting like 1 to 3 a day from our email outreach, right? This is a service that, we charge around $1,800 for. If you're a member of the program, it's $1,250. But we scale it up to 625 outreach per day, right? So this means that if you have this done for your service email and we get you like 1 or 2 setters doing 300 outreach per day, you're already at 1,000 outreach per day, guys. And I promise you, if there is one thing that can guarantee success, there's nothing that guarantees success more than 1,000 outreach per day. I can literally bet my money on it. Okay. So this is going to be included a value around 5.8K over 3 months for the 90-day. You're going to get it for free. You're going to get the backend system, right? I know Chris did show you guys his onboarding. We actually did build it for him. Oops. Let me get the right link. I don't have it. So we ended up solving backend because we realized how hard it was to actually to have clients to keep clients, if you don't have a good onboarding process and a good accountability process, or even for your growth team, right? So we've built this this stuff. So a lot of stuff: go high level account creation, business page setup, staff members, Google, blah 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 blah. There's so much stuff, guys, that I don't even know what's included. Okay, but this is to help you give an amazing experience to the customers that you're selling. If you don't have a good onboarding and a good backend, guys, I mean, might as well not be good at acquiring customers, because you're going to lose all of them. Okay, and I'm sure a lot of people who who are on this call can attest to that, right? And with TikTok, it's a painful thing, right? So it's normally 10 grand. Customers in the program pay around 3 to 3.5K to get it. Now, the other thing that we're going to be giving is a growth team hiring and accountability systems. Okay, this insight of building a growth team has allowed me to, to be honest, that's why we've been able to scale to, I think this August we'll do $250,000, right? And it's all due to building a growth team, right? For those who don't know what a growth team is actually hiring other people who are in the same space as you, not virtual assistants, not appointment setters, but people who are actually running their own agencies or interested in running their own agencies. We've built a process around getting them to actually be your outreach team, your growth team, okay? And then we're gonna set up your accountability systems around 5 grand. Like I said, to build an actual growth team, we charge 25 grand, but we're gonna give you the hiring process and the systems, okay? Now, last week or a week ago, I went to Miami to get go to a mastermind, right? Now, why did I go to that mastermind? It's the first mastermind that I've ever gone to, but I learned that a few people out there were doing like $1.8 to $4 million a month, right? Now, I'm not sure about you guys, but when you're making 150 grand a month and you hear that someone is doing $1 million or 4 million per month, like, I don't know what you like. I don't care if you're having a baby the next day. Trust me, you go to that mastermind, okay? You go there, okay? Now, after I went to the mastermind, I did a 90-minute consulting call with our clients, breaking down the path to scaling to $1 million a month with just 10 customers, which, to be honest, it's pretty much the path to take once you've actually gotten a lot of depth in business, right? Like for me, I'm going to be building an X program and I'm only going to have it limited to 20 clients every single year. Okay. And I share exactly what do you need to actually scale your agency, or at least how they had done it. Okay. So this is amazing. If you ever join a program, ask for this call, like literally ask for this call. Let me make it clear. Ask that we send you this consulting call that I made on, I think what day is it? We're the 28th. It's my birthday. I forgot. Oh, that I made on the 18th of July, right? 18th of July. You need this recording, okay? We're going to be giving access to Twitter audience and client acquisition system. So how to scale Twitter has been crazy for me. I think I just grew like, did anyone come from Twitter who's on this call? Can you put it in the chat? Yeah, see, like, yeah, a lot of you guys came from Twitter. Like, it's crazy, right? So Charlie said, Serge, you could definitely just start your own 50K 3-day mastermind and get 20 clients per month and spend 3 days. Yeah, I know, 100%. I know. I just need to, because guys, like, I'm not sure if you noticed, but like, it takes a lot of effort to deliver this stuff, right? Like, I don't have time to build other offers. Now, I'm definitely going to be building new stuff, but for now, I just want to make people rich, right? I just want to make my customers rich, right? And then once I'm done making you guys rich, then I can go helping rich people get wealthier, okay? Because right now I'm helping a lot of people between 0 to 30K a month. But if I wanted to actually, the same stuff that I'm selling you guys for 15K, I could probably go sell it for 50 grand to 100K to people with money, right? Because if you came to me and let's say I've been relying heavily on ads to make money, and you come in and like, hey, Serge, I can get you an extra 150K a month just by building a growth team, improving your acquisition and helping you with fulfillment. I'd be like, how much do you charge? 50 grand? Okay, done deal. Let's do it. Because I have capital, I have money. But to people who don't have money, then it's hard for you to sell them, for higher things. But anyway, I want to help the people, because I would have loved someone to actually help me when I was starting out. Okay. So check this out. The last thing you're going to get, I mean, it's not the last thing, it's just the stuff that I thought about. You're going to get access to case studies to leverage in your content and sales calls, right? I know a lot of you guys said, oh, I don't have case studies. I don't have case studies. Well, that's why I ended up finding partners, guys. Because when I knew that if I was going to help people launch TikTok, I couldn't just be like, oh, here's the offer. Because people are not stupid. These brand owners, these real estate agents, these companies, they're already making money and they're smart people. If you don't have proof of concept, they're going to be like, hey, I'm not going to give you $5 grand, 10 grand a month because you're asking for it. Show me that you've done it before. So we literally have a whole system where all you have to do is just sign the agreement, sign an NDA, and you get like case studies from like 4 or 5 different partners. So then you go to the marketplace, use them and get clients, and then you just have to just help them, get them to fulfill for you, right? So bonus value over $24,000. So that's that. Now, we've never done this before. We just started doing it like a month and a half ago, but we have a money back guarantee. Okay. As a member of our community, if you get started with a done for you $500,000 systems implementation program, you let us build your acquisition infrastructure. Okay. Just let us do our thing. Let us tell you the script that you need to follow. Let us build your team, and you implement and sustain the infrastructure that we'll build for you for 90 days straight, and hit the daily volume that this infrastructure will be able to produce, which is around 300 to 1,000 average per day. And you still don't make your investment back, guys, after 3 months of the actual thing starting, I will happily refund you your investment. Okay. I'm not hurting with money. I'm not struggling, but if you cannot make your money back once we've helped you set up something, a system like this, I will give you your money back. Okay. And as you guys saw, we've only refunded $6,000 over $1 million in sales. So it's not like we give these refunds a lot. So you're probably not going to get a refund. You're actually going to get the thing that you ended up paying for in the first place, which is the business that you actually, you want in the first place, right? Do you want your money back, or do you want the 50K a month, 100K a month business? If you want the money back, then you might as well not just start up. But if you want the business, then let's go all in and let's stick to the process until we get there. Okay. So this means that working with us is essentially a cheat code to winning. You get me and my team use our experience to build the offers, the acquisition, the infrastructure that is working for almost 400 clients. And if it does not generate you a return in 90 days, so 50K worth of deals, you get your money back. Okay. No questions asked. Okay. Now, if you're interested in having me and my team do the heavy lifting for you, remove the probability of failure, make it unreasonable for that 6 months from now that you're not where you want to be, I'm going to do you guys even a better offer. Okay. So normally to work with us, it's 15 grand, right? But what I want to do is I want to give you guys a discount, okay, for the first 3 people to join, right? If you want to work with us for the next 6 to 12 months, you have option. So I'm going to give you guys a few options for payment. Okay. Option 1 is you have payment plan 1. Well, you're only actually going to get one payment plan, which is you get a $5,000 discount, 5.5K, 5,500. And all you have to pay is over 2 months. Okay. So all you need to pay to get started is $5,250. Okay. Over 2 months. Okay. Now, if you have capital and you want a better offer, is you can pay one time of 9K. Okay. What this does is that you get a $6,000 discount and you just get started for 9K, right? Now, if you want to sign up for the 15K, it's just totally fine. You can do it at 15K over 3 months, which is 5K to get started. Okay. So these are the 2 options. Either 10.5K over 2 months, right? And the way that we can do it is if you're interested, we can even split it like If you pay like today, you can pay like, you have 30 days. So you have essentially 60 days to pay the remaining 5K. Okay. What this will do is that in 60 days, if you trust me and like, let us do our thing, you can essentially not have to pay from your own pocket this remaining payment. You can do it from the clients that you'll be able to acquire. Okay. Or if you want a better discount, this is for sure the one time, or you can just pay 5K times 3. That's it. Okay. Now, if you want, like at the end of the day, it's not like we're gonna send you an invoice. You actually have to apply, and we have to book a 15-minute walkthrough over $500,000 process. So we have a whole lucid chart. A lot of you have probably already been on a sales call with Hassan, and he's walked you through it. But if you have not, then we'll put the link in the comments. Okay. And then it's pretty simple what will happen, right? You will, maybe your current situation is that you're starting out, maybe you're already winning, but unsatisfied with where you're at. You book this 15-minute walkthrough. Hassan or Tommy will walk you through the process. You love this perfect solution. You ask for an invoice, you pay the invoice, your onboarding starts. We will get welcomed in the community, right? Onboarding calls and clarity calls will happen in the first 4 days. Kickoff call happens, 24 hours after you pay, or it could even happen the same day. We craft your new offer, your sales argument. We create your outbound team and campaign creation call, right? You get a clarity session with me or Reynold. No, it's one call with Reynold. And then after you get on a call with me, you receive access to all the material and information needed. And then you get access to the 6 weekly support calls. And then you outbound campaign and sales asset creation. You're assigned to acquisition channels, email outreach system setup starts, optimization of your channels, authority content sales, receive case studies to leverage appointment setting and training. So this is for training your acquisition team. Pick your appointment setters. We start training them. 48 hours later, we start shadowing sessions. In 5 days, they're onboarded in your company and ready to make it rain. And then client acquisition starts, and you're doing 300 outreach or more per day for your new offer. And you start taking sales calls. Expect 5 to 10 warm leads a day. If you're doing all the volume required, then you start taking sales calls, you close deals, you fulfill for your new clients with our white label partners, or simply learn how to build your own within the program. And then all this will take us 7 to 10 days to actually launch. We're pretty fast. A lot of people complain that there's actually a lot of stuff to do in our program, but I'd rather have that complaint than have people complain that they're not winning. Okay. So, and then hopefully 3 to 6 months from now, you get to scale, maybe be a little bit more financially free. If you like cars, I like 500 horsepower cars. If you like Rolexes, like Hassan here, or every other online person, I see this trend where everybody likes nice watches. I might have to get one, but what I prefer is Spain trips. Okay, just take a trip to Spain with a person you love, or your team, or your clients, like I'm going to be doing. And yeah, that's it, guys. So I'll just put the link in the chat. Okay, and then check this out. All you have to do is this. Apply here, your name, email, phone number, what's your Facebook profile, pick the price point that you want, 9K one time, 10.5K over 2 months, 15K over 3 months. And let's get you guys some money. I know a lot of people think winning is hard, but to be honest, for me in my position, once you have the right infrastructure, guys, you have no reason, you have no excuse. If I'm doing it, I'm not anything special, guys. I'm not sure, there's no magic to this. It's a set of steps that needs to be followed. We've achieved it. We've helped a lot of people achieve it. All you have to do is just make the decision to let us do it for you, right? Now, I cannot force you to do. At the end of the day, look at this. We all have one thing in life, and our life is determined by this one thing, the choices that we make, right? You can either make the choice of not launching a TikTok offer. Let's even forget about signing up in the program. I don't really care about signing up in a program. You can make the choice to keep doing what you're doing, or delay something. Hey, I'll do it next week. Oh, Serge, this was an amazing webinar. I got a lot of value. You know what? I'll think about it next week, or maybe this weekend you'll go drink some wine, and then you'll hang out with your friends. And then guess what? 6 months from now, I'll do another webinar and you'll come here, do the same thing, repeat the same bad decisions and complain that, oh, gas prices are going up. Oh, I can't go to Spain. Oh, I don't have any clients. Oh, my client just, yeah, guess what? You made the wrong decisions. You've been making the wrong decision all your life, right? I think the best decision that I've ever made was giving up a $30,000 a year job. Imagine if I was so scared to give up that job that I never did. There are 76 people on this call. Like most of you guys, I don't know you guys. All this because I made one decision 2 years ago, right? And you know, we've delivered crazy. I mean, a lot of customers have seen so much success in our service that I'm like, fuck, I would have quit so many times my job if I could go back in the past. I wouldn't even have worked one day in my life. I would have just started doing outreach, started putting out content, right? But anyway, guys, so you guys have the link. It's a choice that you guys have to make. Now, all I just need you guys to do, we're gonna go into the Q&A session. But guys, apply. Do yourself a favor. And at the end of the day, Hassan will still walk you through the process. He'll show you how everything is done. And from there, you still have to make a decision. We'll still understand where you're from, where you're currently at. You might even be struggling. You might be like, hey, man, I don't have the money. I don't have this, blah, 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 blah. We get a lot of that, okay? We'll figure out a solution for that. But I know that with the team that we have, we're the best in the game right now. Most people are selling you guys courses. We're literally just selling you guys, hey, hire us, let us be your employees, and let us do the scaling for you, okay? So this is the best thing you can do with your money, right? You could probably do some other stuff, like, you know, spend it on, you know, on a trip to Hawaii. But I promise you, don't go to Hawaii, guys. Like, if you're broke, there's no time to go to Hawaii. Stay in your condo, stay in your basement, stay in your room, lock in, and make some money, guys. There's so much money online. It's actually insane. Anyway, so shall we get into the Q&A? So we have, what time is it? We have 15 minutes to go through the Q&A session. I'm not going to go more because it's my birthday, guys. It's my birthday, guys. What the hell am I even doing here, right? So if I don't make money from this, guys, you guys will be mean. I'm joking. All right, cool. Can I get the sheet where we put all the questions, please?
Put it in the chat.
Thank you. And for anyone watching this recording, because we're going to put it, and I'm going to actually price it at $2.99, to be honest. Like, I'm not doing this for free. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Free stuff is done. I've given out programs for free, content for free. YouTube is free. Guys, inflation is really high, so I need to make a little bit more money. So do we have to be on all those channels, or do we have to choose one? Minimum 2 acquisition channels. Why? Because 2 is better than 1. So, but no, to be honest, we do minimum 2 because we've seen that not just 1 channel is not enough to generate the success that you actually want, right? To make 50K, 100K a month, guys. Like, it's not like it's a basic thing to do. How many people do you know that make 50K profit a month? Like, in your actual city, or in your actual friend, or even your family. How many people say, hey, I make 50 grand profit every month? It's not a common thing to do. So you can't be common and do 1 outreach channel, right? So if we plan to launch the first offer that Serge talked about, content creation, how do we go about it when we don't have case studies relate to it? Well, go on Instagram, look at Hormozy's channel and be like, hey guys, I'm going to do the same thing that Hormozy is doing. That's your case study. You don't have to have done it to say that it can be done. Question to Chris: where do you find UGC creators? How much do you pay them? And how does the backend look in general? We're not going to go over just answer how much, no, we're not even going to say how much you pay them. We're just going to say, how do you find them? Can you answer this?
Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere, anywhere, any platform that uses, I don't know, short form content. You can reach out to those guys, send emails. You can send DMs on Twitter, so you can find them.
Perfect. Great answer. And guys, this is a question that you would ask if you actually are lazy, right? like you literally see content creators like without even looking for them. So like asking this question is a bit lazy. So question for Chris, can you immediately start offering UGC plus paid ads with a brand which has zero presence? I think Chris, you answered this, you said no, right?
Brands doing less than 30K a month, ads don't make sense. I'd say pitch organic, pitch content. Brands that have anywhere from 30, 50K in monthly recurring revenue, ads would be a great move.
Would you work with clients that want to pay after each month is finished instead of upfront? Well, if someone wants to do this, is because they're a bad client, so don't do it. Unless you're okay with I mean, to be honest, I would still do it because if I'm hungry for success, I will still work for free. And I would still suggest to work for free if you can't literally sign a client, because like it induces a reciprocity bias. If you help me get somewhere for free, even though I didn't pay you something, I'll still feel like I owe you something. So I might end up referring you customers, all that good stuff, right? Question for Chris, how many content creators does brand need? Do I find 1 to 5 or they monthly retainer?
For one creator, I stick with 10 videos per creator. We don't want to do too many variables. We want to isolate variables, especially with ads or whatever we're doing. So 3 creators, 30 pieces of UGC, 10 pieces of content for one creator.
You mean for one brand, right?
For brands, it's if we're doing ads, like at least minimum 30 pieces of UGC a month.
No, but how many creators?
3 for 30.
Perfect. So three create 30 pieces for one brand per brand. What if you have a VSL that works sort of as a demo call? So when the prospect gets on the actual call, I'm closing them on the first one. They usually know the price. They already have seen exactly what we do, and we show them a mini demo, blah, 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 close them at the end. I could try demo calls. Yeah, so Hassan, so Koopa shared his sales process. We have a different sales process. We do a lot of one call close. So if you have content that have warmed them up, they have walked them through everything, yeah, you can definitely close off with the first call. But Chris, you've done some one call close, right?
One call closes, bro. One call, because I frame it like this: agency owners are talking to every other agency. You only have that set time to integrate their systems. Even if they don't close on that one call, you get an onboarding call scheduled. You collect payment, done deal. One call close.
Easy money, easy peasy. We've done like $18,000 off with one call close, guys. Like this is baby money for 5K. Ain't no way I'm gonna speak with you twice. Ain't no way. Maybe $20,000 I'll like get on another call, but for 5-10K, I'm not even gonna pay attention to you. But yeah, you can do one call close. But guys, you need content beforehand. You can't just be like, oh, I'll do one call close, but you've never heard from me. You don't know who I am. You don't even know if I have dreads, if I'm white, if I'm black. Like, no way. You need people to actually know you before. So you can't just be like, hey, first call, give me $20,000. No way. No way. I don't care who you are. I don't even care how good your service is. Nobody does that. How much should you charge for posting organically? 1 to 2 a day. It depends on the customer. For if you go, charge Hormozy and you're like, hey, it's 10 grand a month. He'll be like, okay, cool, whatever. But if you go charge someone who's broke like me, I'll be like, hey man, don't break the bank. Maybe 1,500, 2.5K would work. If they ask for 20 a month, do I charge double the price? Yeah, I mean, when you're pricing your, I guess this is for content or UGCs. I wouldn't say that, oh, it's 10, and if it's 10, then it's $1,000, and then it's 20, you charge 2 grand. No. You should do it in a way that incentivizes them to take the bigger chunk, or that incentivizes them to take the smaller thing, right? So maybe if it's like 1,000, then maybe do 1,750. But like this is not actually the actual price points. I'm just saying like proportionate. So for ads, to add, do you add an extra retainer or just commission? I guess this is the question.
Retainer. So we have our set retainer for ads management, and then a separate whatever the amount of UGC we're going for, 10, 15, 30, whatever that package is, we have that integrated within the retainer.
Perfect. Regarding the creative director, is this an additional fee with the overall cost of the program? What? The creative director, this is someone that you hire in your team. We don't I mean, we can help you hire one, but we're not necessarily charging for, you don't pay us. You don't pay anyone. You just have to pay the creative director as a role, as an actual employee of the company. For Chris, how important is posting content on Reels, YouTube, Facebook as an agency owner?
If you want to make money, you have to do it.
That's a good answer. Those pushing the TikTok offers in client acquisition average system. How busy is your calendar? How busy is your calendar looking?
It's busy, man. Business is booming.
Yeah. Another thing is with this TikTok offer, you literally just need 5 to 10 meetings per week. I know people who get 5 clients a month and close 3 clients per month. No, 5 meetings per month and close 3 clients per month. So as much as I would want to sell like, hey, we'll book 50, 100 meetings. For us, I think last week we booked, I mean, I don't even think last week, Monday we booked 23 sales calls for our own offer. But I would not even wish that, I wouldn't wish that onto your business because that's insane, right? You wouldn't even handle 2 more customers, 5 more, max 10 new customers a month, right? So you don't need 60 sales calls, 100 sales calls, right? So yeah, how can you start if you don't have any case studies yet? I guess this was answered. When you join the program, we'll give you access to everything you need. Can you merge 2 offers in one, or do you recommend one at a time? Like I said, you start with TikTok, you give them what they want, and then you use another mechanism to deliver more revenue. Okay, it could be through outbound, it could be Google ads, it could be you sell a brand TikTok ads, but you actually end up using Facebook ad, right? So yes, you can definitely merge. I mean, you should merge 2 offers. For Chris, is signing small e-com brand easier than signing big ones? What is the difference?
Bigger brands, oh my God, the deals are so much easier. They pay up front. There's an analogy like big brands, they're more than happy pay 10K compared to smaller brands. They're so stingy with paying like 2K. Bigger brands, less stress.
Yep. Even my own example, recently I lost $24,000 with an agency. And the first invoice, they were like, oh, it's 10 grand plus 10% of ROAS. I was like, okay, cool, whatever, let's do it. But they ended up fucking me over and literally providing the worst copy, the worst creatives, the worst everything, right? And they had signed me into an agreement where I have to pay 25% if I end up leaving earlier than the 6-month contract. So I ended up paying an extra 14 grand. I'd rather pay that 14 grand to get out than to spend another minute with someone delivering me bad work, right? So, so like if you have me as a customer and you do amazing work, like I'll oh my God, I'll fill up your bank account with money, right? So yes, with people with money, it's much easier to sell. I may give an example of like when I bought my car, like a month ago. Like I literally saw the car at 11 p.m. before going to bed. I booked an appointment noon the next day, and I went to spend 100 grand on the car. It took me seeing the actual post of the car to actually make a decision to spend 100 grand. That's how fast, when you have money, that's how easy it is. So it's like the best thing you can do, go sell to people with money. That's why with my next program, oh my God, I might make like 10 million next year. But anyway, how do you find e-com founders on Facebook? They are very sketchy. The person who asked this question, are you new? It's on YouTube. You can go find something around the lines of, actually, should I drop a little gem right now?
Gotta do it.
Yeah, I gotta do it. Let me show you guys why people pay us a lot of money. Okay, so let me show you guys something real quick. So you go on Spotify, okay, and then you go. By the way, I like country music. I like a little bit of Grant Cardone. I like a little bit of everything. So check this out. You go to, so you see like these podcasts. Let me show you. So e-commerce. I'll actually show you the whole process. I'll go to e-commerce. I'll go to podcast. I'll pick e-commerce view. I'll go to here. I'll go in their description. Now we have, oh my God, what is this? Interested in our private community of 7-figure store owners? I'll click here. I'll be like, ooh, this is good. Okay, but let's go for one more, right? And then I'll probably do another one like e-commerce playbook. What is this about? Do they have an audience? Okay, they don't have the link here, but they probably do have one. We'll find it out later. Shopify Masters, e-commerce lifestyle. So let me show you guys the ones, podcasts and shows. I don't know why it's not showing. Okay, here it is. So secrets to scaling your brand, e-commerce fast lane. Cool. Let me show you. Boom. Looking to profitably grow. E-commerce fast lane. Click here. But yeah, this is just an example, right? So I'll show you guys the one that I just found, and then this is how you find a community of founders. An e-commerce forum for 7- and 8-figure store owners, 5 mil average revenue per member, and then all you have to do is just pay what, $1 for the first 30 days to join, right? But you can use the same process to find audiences on Facebook, right? So the same process that I just showed you guys, you can use it to find Facebook groups with a bunch of qualified brand owners, okay? I want to know what services we should offer in a startup agency. Guess what? We're deleting this question. It's pointless. How do you come up with outreach accounts, usernames? Bell, should we show them what we've built? Can you show them? Can you send me the link for the accounts? Guys, when I say we've solved for everything, I mean we've solved for everything. And some people should make our business like Harvard should do a case study on our business, guys, literally, right? But yeah, Bell, where are you going to send it in the chat? Okay, thank you. Discord. Okay, cool. Let me show you guys real quick. So one of the things that we had an issue with is the amount of issues with accounts that customers had. So what we've done is we have you buy aged accounts from us. You also buy aged Instagram accounts. Okay, so all you have to do, come here, and then you would buy them, right? And then we'll just deliver them to you. So you have no obstacle essentially. Webinar questions. Let's go back. How do you come up with outreach accounts? Cool. What are the monthly expenses after signing up for the 15K? I would say that you have to have around 500 to 1K per month to allocate to your acquisition infrastructure, right? So yeah, that's it. So to be honest, the way that we scale, because like, if we're having someone who just started out and they don't have any money, like we can't, the way that the infrastructure is built is for it to be affordable or the most efficient, cost-effective way of scaling a business. I know a lot of people out there are telling agencies like, oh, the best way to scale is to run ads. But I'm like, guys, are you serious? I'm making over like 6 figures a month and I'm just started running ads. Why? Because it is the best way to go broke if you're trying to scale, right? You could spend 15 grand on ads and not even be guaranteed anything, right? So please don't listen to these people. Only go to ads when you have a lot of money. And when I say a lot of money, I mean like you have like $500,000 in the bank where you could go for like 6 months testing shit and not seeing a return and still be okay. Okay. How much is white label solution for TikTok content creation? We don't necessarily have a set offer for this. When it comes to the white label solution for the TikTok content creation, we have different partners charging different prices. But for this offer, we could potentially show you how to build your own operation and just have it easy. But I think like average is like 1,000, 1,500, 1,250 for the white label offer. We have an agency in Germany. Would it make sense for us to work together with you guys if we are doing outreach and fulfillment, and the fulfillment is in German? Well, so check this out. Fulfillment will definitely not be done by us, but outreach, I think you guys can definitely leverage the acquisition infrastructure, the workflows, the process that we have into the German market, and you guys would scale like crazy because just like I said, the market becomes numb to specific strategies. So if we have a lot of English speaking clients, and they'll say they're doing 10,000 outreach per day combined. Well, to be honest, it could be more. Then you know that every week we have 50,000 or 100,000 people who have been hit up by the same message, right? If you're bringing it to the German market, it's completely, it's new. It's less sophisticated. So that outreach, you're probably going to be, you can even send a 50 a day, which I highly do not recommend to start with 50 a day, but you would easily get 5 people interested from just 50 a day. When to get 50 at 5 a day warm leads from like English market, you probably need to be doing like 150 to 300 outreach per day. Okay. Does UGC work for real estate agents? I would probably get the real estate agents to be the content creator. So, oh my God, there's still more questions. What? Do you recommend having your own on-hand content creators or your softwares? No, have your own community. So yeah, use Twitter, use Instagram, use TikTok to go find creators. Would I be able to sign up to the program with zero money and pay you once I first get, before I even take any money for myself? Well, I mean, in the perfect dream world, if I was $1 billion company, this would probably work, but I have $50,000 of expenses every single month. So unless you just want me to go broke and go poor, then it would be nice for you to actually pay for us to help you, right? Because it's not like I'm just me and I'm consulting you guys. If I was the only person here that needs to pay for their food and rent, and then I would probably work for free. But I have a whole team that relies on us making money as a business, right? So no, this is not happening. How many video editors should you hire, and how many vids will each editor take? Chris, you want to answer this one last question?
Yeah, depending on the workload, because you don't want to have too many editors and they're not getting consistent work. So let's say we have 5 clients, I'd say honestly, you'd probably need 2 to 3 editors. One editor can take care of like, I don't know, 10 clips of content in a single day, or even more than that. So it's better to be over prepared than under prepared, but it's all about work. Like you need to be just giving them consistent work. So I'd say 1 to 2 to start out if you have like 1 client.
Amazing. All right, cool, guys. So that's it. 3 hours in. Oh my God, this is I thought. This is crazy. But yeah, guys, if all I would ask you to do is just, if you can just leave a comment in the chat of what you enjoyed the most in this presentation, and also share a little, just take a picture and then share it on your stories, guys. That's all I ask. I just spent 3 hours with you guys. So I would, I would at least appreciate a little tag, a little comment of what you enjoyed. And yeah, guys, but thank you guys so much for staying onto this call for this long. I appreciate you guys so much. And guys, like, I genuinely believe that like we're living in an age where it's like, it's sometimes like sometimes for me personally, like it doesn't yet hit me yet. I sometimes feel like one day I'll wake up and it would all have been a dream. Like that's how life is right now. It's like, it's too good to be true at sometimes, right? Because it happens so fast, right? So if I can give you one advice, guys, it's like, please, whatever life you want, just know it's possible. Like at the core of yourself, know that you can do it. Just know that it's actually a lot probable for you to win than to lose if you never give up, right? And there are so many people doing ready to help you out. We are here. There's people on YouTube putting out content. There's Hormozy dropping value like crazy for free. So it's like, you have no reason to not be winning. Literally zero, nada. Okay. So yeah, 10 million net worth at 24. Yeah, I'm gonna do 10 mil next year. 100%. Promise you guys. And maybe you guys see how I'm winning, and then maybe it inspires you guys to actually go for more. Because for me, my goal in life is to do so much that it's like, okay, yeah, fuck. If Serge has done it, I can do better. right? Because I'm not any special. I'm not, I don't have something that you guys don't have. I don't wake up at 5 a.m. guys. I was at 9 a.m. I mean, I didn't wake up at 9 a.m., but I was in bed. I was still 8:30. I was still in bed, right? So there's nothing special. So thank you guys so much. This recording will be $299. So, you know, if you missed it, sorry, you're gonna have to pay. And if you want to jump and work with us, just book in a call. We'll leave the link below. Apply, get on a call with Hassan. We have a few availabilities today. If you want to have a call today, and invest some money and let us do our thing. Okay. Again, thank you so much. This is long, man. I gotta stop doing these for 3 hours, man. I was thinking it was going to be like an hour and a half, and it ends up 3 hours. It's crazy. All right, cool. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. And yeah, let's have an amazing week, an amazing weekend. Okay, it's my birthday. I got a dip. Bye-bye.